Hello, hello, Starfinders. Welcome to Starfinder Wednesday and the Extreme Stream.
Yeah!
Oh, that's right. We've got our thrilling conclusion to this story that we've been telling about our Pact Worlds wrestlers. But before we get into things, let's reintroduce ourselves, starting with myself. I'm Amanda Hamon. I am the managing developer for Starfinder at Paizo. Mr. Jake Tondro.
Hey, yeah, I make Starfinder APs in the developer queue.
And Mr. Andrew White, go for it.
I am the front-end dev lead on Paizo.com.
Next, we got Mr. John Compton.
I'm the Starfinder senior developer working on all these hardcover books.
And last but not least, some nerd.
Yeah, I'm the nerd. I am Peyton Smith. I am the social media producer for Paizo. One day we'll get these intros right. One day we'll get it going. But no, I'm the social media producer here at Paizo. I am the Twitch Meister who's getting all this together, and I also want to, for one, apologize for any technical difficulties we might have today. A lot of the voice servers that we're kind of using to kind of run the show are starting to have a little bit of finicky stuff. So we apologize if people kind of crack up and stuff. So apologize for technology advances out of our control. Along with that, especially what's kind of in our control, or more or less in your control, is the hero points and villain tokens that we kind of use in our games. If you are basically using our Twitch chat right now to interact with all of us, live on Twitch, you get a thing basically like Paizo points and stuff, or channel points that are below the Twitch chat. You'll see a little token there with a bunch of points accumulating. You can use those to help out the various players in this game by spending those points and specifying who you want them to go to, sort of like what Numbad did to give Tehwas a point. And with that, they can use that for rerolls. Say, for example, if we try to do a skill check and we did a terrible job at it, and we got like a 1 or something, and we want to reroll it, you guys allow us to do that. Additionally, if you just don't like us at all, like you really want, Tehwas to burn in infinite fire, and maybe Tehwas going to do something really complicated, and you just hope that Tehwas just fails, that you can give Manda, also with your points, a villain point. Now it's up to her what she wants to use that for, but she can do it for whatever she wants. She wants to re-roll what a villain basically rolled. She wants to re-roll one of our rolls and make it worse. Whatever she wants, she has that power. And
that's right. As I wave crazily to the camera to try to convince everybody to let me kill them, please.
Yeah, it is worth noting that at least thus far, you haven't had to use any of your villain points because we've been doing a terrible job all by ourselves.
That is true. The die has been my own personal villain point every single time, and you are the ones rolling it. So thanks for that. I appreciate it.
And with that, Amanda, what are we in for today?
All right. So when last we left our Pact Worlds wrestlers in the Extreme League, you all had, if you had faced down Stone Bold Reeve Tossin, the Morlemaw, with the bad paw, so to speak, he then joined your side and was convinced that you were the real true up-and-coming stars, as opposed to the Skulk, who is our villainous antagonist, who is kidnapping wrestlers and trying to stage a great comeback in front of a massive streamed audience. This is what you are trying to stop, wrestlers. And so you all managed to get into the Furnace's room and get past a whole bunch of very rowdy fans and reroute the stream audience that's watching this big event that the Skulk is putting on into your audience, as you have taken back control of the narrative. And now you are trying to stop this route of Brandy Brutal as planned so that you can be the heroes to save the day. So you are all still back down in the furnaces currently. You have convinced the fans of the Skulk to turn to your side and that you guys are the ones to back. And you basically can talk amongst yourselves at this point.
The Drills believes that we need to kind of rest up. And did we rest yet, or did we?
We have not.
Okay, good. The Drills is
I
tired.
believe somebody said something about stealing a helicopter. It wasn't an accusation, it's just a suggestion this time.
And at that point, Stone Bold, who is right here in your map, where I'm pinging.
Wildly gesturing the giant walrus fellow.
The giant walrus fellow.
Giant walrus. Yeah, okay, got it.
The biggest creature in the middle of the room. walks over, and he had whispered in your ear before that if you really want to make a grand entrance, I know where there's a helicopter that's parked right across the rooftop where this match is supposed to take place. I can tell you exactly where it is if you want.
This wouldn't happen to be one of those auto-piloting helicopters with the easy-to-use joystick that just says point and click and I will take you there, is it?
I don't believe I'm familiar with that particular model of helicopter. However, there is a user's manual.
Oh, good.
See, Tails, you know how to read, right?
Yep, don't we all? Oh, no.
Yeah, we all know how to read. Drills kind of looks away, just nervously. Yeah, I know what the BZs and C's are.
The book larnins, you know the book larnins?
Learned me some books that I used to do when I was young, and then quit.
How hard could piloting a helicopter be? I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean, we'd be idiots not to do this. So come on.
Yeah, the only point of failure is that we all die.
And so you've also got your Granny P. You've got Granny P, who is the grandmother of the litigator over there, Andrew. And you've got Mama Martha, who is also there. They are piloting the camera drone around this area.
Most competent team members.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's like the
actually,
real heroes.
I'll bet Mom or Grandma can fly a helicopter.
yeah, but their hands are full. So, what do you do?
We're piloting the drone back here. Don't you see that we're busy?
Okay.
Grandma actually used to fly helicopters during the war, but she don't like to talk about that.
Where's the copter? Where's the helicopter?
So Stonebolt has said that he can show you exactly where it is. So Tehwas, you are the one who rerouted all of the transponders, correct?
Yep, that's right.
And so you've got your data pad out now with your map of the facility?
Yeah, that as well as I imagine I'm getting some of our diagnostic data of how many viewers we actually have or how many we might.
Yes, you saw that when you were successful in rerunning those transponders, that your viewers went from a few dozen up to several thousand. So it was very clear that this was successful.
Woohoo! All right.
So Stonebolt, so Stonebolt is going to flop his way over to you and point as he can with his massive paw at an upper corner of the facility and say, That's a helipad right there, and we saw that on the way back up to the roof and thought about trying to incorporate it into the act, but turned out that, well, none of us really know what we're doing, and we figured it might be kind of dangerous, so...
No reason for that. Let that stop you. Let's go, guys.
We tried to lock the helicopter. We tried to lock the helicopter with, some cinder blocks, so you might need to move those out of the way, but the thing still should fly. If you're going to go up and do that, then I can take all of these fans up to the roof and you can have a live audience. And you hear Granny P from the background who shouts, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's show everybody how excited we all are for the Extremers. And she starts
Nothing says reliable entercopter quite like it's on cinder blocks.
I promise you it still works. Look, it ain't pretty, but I promise that it still works. Okay, I was up there myself. And he, so when he says that, Stonebolt is going to start just rallying all of the fans and shouting, "Do you want to see a real match? Do you want to see the real great wrestlers of the Pact Worlds? Let's go up there and let's show the Skulk that he's washed up. What do you say?" And all of the crowd starts chanting. Does any of you guys want to start riling them up?
Yeah. Before we go, anybody else want any more of this brawler hall?
Does Grandma have an entire crate of vuvuzelas or something just to give everybody? So we're just loud and obnoxious all the way?
Probably, yeah.
She's got her massive bag of merchandise. And so, Litigator, I don't know, aren't you known for your kazoo playing in some cases? Don't you come out sometimes to your opening song playing a kazoo?
Absolutely, I do, yes.
Yeah, so
it's actually not a kazoo, it's a kazumpet. It's a hybrid. It's like a kazoo, but much more louder and irritating.
And have you got your logo on this kazumpet?
I do, and it's rhinestoned just like everything else, and it comes with a legal waiver. just in case it explodes or somebody hits somebody else over the head with it or chokes on it or any of the other various ways one can injure oneself with a kazumpit. So I've got plenty of those to hand out.
You should print these waivers on like cocktail napkins, right? Like,
yeah, they're actually printed on the inside of the kazumpit.
Okay, there you go.
You'll have to trust me that it's there, though.
Okay.
And in the fine print, it says that using the kazumpit is assent to signing the waiver, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
So the minute that you put your face on it. Okay, so you're all discussing this and you hear Granny P be like, Martha, bring out the kazumpits! And she'll just kind of grumble a little bit as you see her just pulling this massive bag of like thumping. Are these made out of metal or plastic? What kind of merchandise are you running out here, Litigator?
They're made out of...
Half of me assumes that they're plastic just because they're cheap, but half of me assumes they're metal because that's the only thing that will let them survive the being stomped upon that any Vuvuzela would attract.
They are no more than 20% lead.
No more than 20% lead. All right, that's what the PWDA approves.
Yes, that's the legal requirement for anything that you are intended to put in your mouth.
So Granny P and Mama Martha are going to start just distributing all of these. What are they called? Vuvuzumpits? Is that what it is?
Yes, they are now officially called Vuvuzumpits. They are an unholy combination of a vuvuzela, a trumpet, and a kazoo. And we're working on a model that's also part harmonica.
We're never going to sell these. We're never going to sell these on the internet if you keep calling them unholy, boy. They're high quality.
With a certain segment of the population that's quite popular.
They're bespoke.
Yeah, they'll come across as edgy.
Yeah, a lot of heavy metal like followers and stuff start buying them up in bulk.
So those are all being distributed amongst the crowd, and Mama Martha and Granny P are leading the crowd in chants of extreme, extreme, and half of them are chanting and half of them are playing the Vuvuzumpits.
Ah, yes. My eardrums are bleeding already.
Well, so much for getting rest.
That's a good point.
We really probably should have distributed these before we tried to take a night off.
Just put on my noise-canceling earmuffs.
Stone Bull is going to waddle his way over to you, and again, just kind of whisper to you, Litigator, if you need a little bit of a quiet place to land, I can show you exactly where it is on that fancy map there, and points over to the data pad in Tehwas' hand.
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
Well, I mean, there's a maintenance closet that's just around the corner here. If you want to slip out, I'll keep the crowd busy.
Maintenance closet, you say? Sign me up.
It's real quiet, and I'm pretty sure that when you close the door, it won't lock you in from the outside.
Good enough for me.
Yes, what the stalker would say. Let's go.
So he's gonna tap on the data pad exactly where that is located. And as that happens, there is a big alert that pops up on that data pad that you're intercepting from the stream that the Skulk has been projecting out, and it only says "match at dawn" in these big, massive capital letters across the entire screen, and it's flashing. And Stone Bull says, "Oh, good! He finally decided on the schedule. Well, that's when your time to shine is, Extremers. If you want to rest at dawn, I'll lead all of these hooligans up to the roof, and we'll be your audience. What do you say?"
Oh, like the sound of that.
Yeah, Bear Drills agrees with this plan. I think we should all go to the closet and rest.
That's
yes,
like
the resting closet,
I've
everyone.
ever had before.
Yes. The epitome of luxury for wrestlers, the closet.
The resting closet.
Yes. It's where you rest your wrestlers.
Think of it as a green room.
Is it all green rooms? Just a closet they couldn't figure out what to do with?
Look, you're used to way worse things than this. I'm really not sure why a closet is such a problem. I've seen your streams.
But we're celebrities now. We actually have multiple numbers of fans. We deserve better.
It's more than a single digit this time.
I've never imagined a walrus backhanding somebody, but I think I just witnessed it.
If by 13, then you mean legions of fans, then yeah, sure, why not?
We would have had 15 if we hadn't pushed those 2 into the fire.
A wrestler's dozen.
All right, I
That's
begin
right.
to
You always
head.
need to have a few extra.
I begin to head to the closet.
Yeah.
Yep. Time
All
for
right.
a nice, relaxing evening in the supply closet.
I'm sure that your nap will be very restful and that there won't be a horrible screaming and obscenities drifting in from the massive crowd that's assembled.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but Bear Drills is remarkably comfortable.
Well, you know, he's basically a bearskin rug, aren't you, Bear Drills?
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Everyone just cuddle up, it'll keep you warm.
Aww. Packed Worlds Wrestling Cuddle Edition.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
Cuddle Puddle. There's an idea.
all right, so at this point, I assume we're all at full health. Anybody who has spells. Anyone who has syringes, refill syringes.
Yeah,
So
there's
you
definitely plenty of stuff in the supply closet for you to refill your syringes with.
You actually
Yeah.
don't recover all of your hit points with the Knights. You get all your stamina back, but you only get 1 hit point per level.
Exactly. So why don't you all get your stamina back? Let me know how many hit points you're actually down, and then you're gonna be able to search that closet area. I mean, this is an area with like kind of several closets gathered together, so you can take some time before you actually bed down for the night.
We'll
to
search the
for
closet.
stuff.
Is anybody down hit point damage?
I'm down 4. Not a lot.
I can try to do treat deadly wounds on you because I don't think I've tried yet.
Okay, that'd be great. Gonna make me reconsider my opinion of you, Trevor.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, whatever
Let's
makes you
not
feel
go
comfortable
crazy
while
here.
I'm going at you with a scalpel.
Can't you?
I'm-
Yeah, there you go. That is a 25 for your medicine
By
check.
golly, that's exactly what we need. Great. I restore 1 hit point to you.
Sweet. I'll take it.
They saw your cat, Amanda.
I know, and I have to assume that because my cat has been called out, that you are all practicing your wrestling moves these few moments of downtime before you go to bed for the evening.
Actually,
while
given the
you-
circumstances, can this wrestling move be what we call Tehwas' medical procedure?
I was about to say, it's like, I will restore 1 hit point to you with a hurricane arm dive.
Nice.
Almost as good as that. We need Fist of Fury from you, Tehwas.
It's like a massage.
All right, this is one of those deep tissue massages that's going to get all that terrible, like punching damage and spiked club to the face out of your system.
We'll just punch the pain out of you.
You are surprisingly good at this, Swedish massage. Like, if you ever decide that wrestling is not your alley, you should go into the physical therapy business.
You know, now that I'm
getting.
getting compliments from Hieronomo Jones, this is undermining Tehwas's terrible opinion of him, and the only way to get past this is to perform more physical abuse. So she's just going to
Yeah.
lean into these a little bit more.
I have a question. So Tehwas doesn't have hands. He has like stabby legs. So is this actually just acupuncture instead?
Kind of, yeah. It's just sort of sharp claws.
I can just
That's
imagine
why
like
it works.
like a Crestlet from XCOM, just basically on top of just Hieronomo, just sink, just stabbing. It's like, let me get these kinks out by cutting all your muscle tendons.
Really
Not
takes your
as-
mind off the beatings, though.
You got to feel the pain before you can feel the gain, right?
That's right.
I don't think this is how this works.
John, how many hit points did you restore with that, by the way?
1.
Okay, so who is that? I'm sorry. Was that to Bear?
No, me. I'm just down 3. It's not. Yeah. I'm down
I
3.
am for John giving that great Fist of Fury move. I'm gonna give you back all your hit points.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What is with me? I have a villain point.
You
Why
do.
am I giving people extra hit points?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. I know
Don't
you're all
worry
just
about
hoping
it.
that I forget.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so I believe we are, for the most part, rested, re-equipped. Drills is ready to go through the bedrock of this foundation and come out as a shining star.
I've resupplied myself with reservoirs of possibility, or as I call them, spells, and we're ready to go.
Reservoirs of possibility. Well, there are certainly worse things you could have called that, litigator.
Are you
I used to
fingered,
play bass for the reservoirs of possibility.
fingered guns at the ready, right? Living.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
rarely make any other gesture.
And Vuvu Zumpets. You should all probably grab a Vuvu Zumpet, just to really make your grand entrance in case the whooping of the helicopter
Amanda,
blades.
we're professionals. We do not devaluate ourselves for such fan plastic toys. I take one and sneak it in my bag.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Haravuvu Zumpet.
What is that, Jake?
Well, he already explained it. He's improving. He's adding a harmonic Zumpet.
Yeah, that's the new
it.
model coming next year. Every year we add a new instrument to the conglomeration.
Are you really just building a band? Is this all just a very elaborate ploy for the litigator to build a band and then represent them from a legal standpoint?
It's either that or to represent the people suing them for playing outside.
Oh, you could have the best of both worlds. You could represent the band and you could represent all of the fans that would be suing
I do
them for their
represent
poor
both sides
performances.
of most of my cases.
Yeah, both. You can't lose that way. Can't lose.
That's right. Okay, so you guys are in the closet. So anybody wanted to search around in there to see what might be salvaged? Because this is an old abandoned refinery, but there's equipment and possibly usable things if you were to look.
Yeah, think about all the petrol that we could find that we could use for pyrotechnics at our great show. Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay. Roll me perception, John. Let's see what Tehwas finds.
Ah, there are the rolls. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
You just see a bunch of garbage, a bunch of just old boards with rusty nails sticking out, unusable metal and rods and pipes and things like that.
Drills will
notice
Tehwas is looking around for stuff, and I'm kind of helping him out a little bit with a same roll he did. Never mind, I'm out.
Do you not have any modifier to your perception, Drills?
I have a 3 modifier. For some reason, my things, even though I've fixed it 5 times, it would keep go back to it. So it's pretty much a 14.
It's a 14. Okay, Andrew, I feel like you had a question.
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember what kind of refinery is this, because all that we found here is fire so far.
Yeah, so this is an old Thasteron mining facility.
Yeah, we're on Akaton, right?
Yes.
So it's Thasteron. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the metal that made starship fuel back in the day, and then its use dropped off in more modern times, and so these facilities were just kind of abandoned because they were no longer profitable.
I'll help the other two search.
Sure.
Why the hell not? Everybody else is doing it.
We're starting off great, boys.
Litigator.
Starting off real great. I don't think we've gotten.
I am so disappointed in this entire factory. We've basically driven and crashed everything of value.
Yes. We searched this entire 3x4 foot closet and we found nothing.
Yeah. Ruining this place is pretty on brand for us.
So at first you all just keep getting distracted by Bear Drill's striking poses and Tehwas threatening people with her fist of fury, telling them that they can't get the gain without the pain. Tehwas, you're very hardcore, by the way. But after a while, you do have plenty of time. You look around. You could essentially kind of take 20 on some of this stuff. You find a few boxes that are shoved way in the back in one of these old closets, and you find that there are a couple of groups of cylindrical parts. And any of you, certainly Bear Drills, you'll recognize that these are actually jump jets. There are 2 pairs of jump jets in here. Yeah, and they look a little old and dinged up. They're probably used for just kind of mineral scouting missions and things like that, but they still appear to be functional.
That sounds like a flashy entrance. Jump jets. Like the sound of that.
Also sounds like a really good way to survive a helicopter crash.
Yeah, it does. I like the way you think.
What are you presuming? Are you saying I can't pilot this thing? I can't pilot this thing.
Yes.
I spent the last hour trying to read the manual, and it's given me at least 47 ways that we could all die.
Every 4 pages are in a different language, but sort of slapped together from a bunch of different.
Nice.
By the end of this, I'll know how to pilot a helicopter in Portuguese.
Yeah, but you won't know how to not crash a helicopter in Portuguese, I would assume.
So as I with the jump jets, I'm gonna pick them up and I'm like, oh neat! And I yell, hey guys, already found one pair of jump jets. Who wants one? As I store the others.
Oh, so you're keeping one for yourself.
I'm keeping one for myself.
Is there just 2 sets?
There are 2 sets.
There are
Yep.
2 sets. Okay, well,
I fail to see how Hieronomo Jones should not be the other Rocketeer.
Except for the
Well, I
fact that
would-
Hieronomo Jones would obviously give them up to save his friend, being a
Yes,
hero. and all.
exactly. Yes. I've got pretty decent athletics. And we're all melee, so it doesn't much matter there. I mean, I'll wear them.
Yep. As long
I
as
guess
you've
you're
got
not.
some kind of armor in, you can install these.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will take them. I will have to uninstall my infrared sensors, which are currently filling the only armor slot.
The only upgrade slot
I
you've
have.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes
But I'll
sense.
take out the infrared sensors and I will install the jump jet. That should help me get to melee rank.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I already see that chat has got the brilliant idea of Rocket Bear.
Rocket Bear. Yeah, we can make that happen. So that I
He's a
install on
rocket
my armor.
bear.
Thank you, Bear Drills.
Well, he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm glad we only found one pair as I'm slipping on the other ones and putting it on.
I don't think you're fooling anybody, Bear Drills.
Yeah, no way.
Nope. And I
The
don't
rest of us
care.
don't know
Just saving my own skin.
I thought you were supposed to be one of the good guys. What
I
is
am a
up with
good
you
guy.
these
But I
days?
can't be a good guy when I'm dead.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we only have 2 people who are on either end of the wrestling spectrum. I'm a heel. Hieronomo Jones is a face, and then who knows for the other 2?
Yeah.
They just kind of do whatever. I think the litigator is just a showboat.
We
That's-
rise to the occasion. That's what we.
The litigator is a opportunistic salesman. That's what he is.
It's a
I mean-
gift. What can I say?
A man.
Oh, it's not actually a gift. Gift's free.
Just make Vuvuzela sounding rocket jumps and you'll sell a lot.
So while you guys are doing all of this stuff, again, you have not like gone to sleep or anything. You've still got Granny P and Mama Martha with you in your group, and they're sort of following you around. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get some good promo shots. The stream has been temporarily turned off with the message that the match is at dawn, so that all of the viewers know to tune in. Excuse me. And they're back there and trying to get good angles, and they're looking at Bear Drills with the jump jets. And they're looking at Hieronomo Jones with the jump jets and saying,
Yep.
Can we
Hey,
start
give
off
us
so that
a-
the countdown image is a still shot from the previous brawl with a bunch of people drinking Brawlahol in the foreground and Tehwas falling into the fire in the background?
"Oh, we can do even better than that. We can make it a
Hey.
GIF with the fire gout shooting up behind you,
Excellent.
Nice.
and have there be sound, and have your legally distinct version of Lightning Struck playing Litigator."
Sounds good. Just like a still image of me sort of jerkily moving across in front of the camera, firing the finger guns into the air.
That's right, jerkily. Yeah, that means 2 things, right?
It does. In every possible sense of the word, I mean jerk.
Like a jerk. Like a jerk. And so Granny P is just like, give us some good poses. Let's get the fans some kind of good images. Let's get something that we can put on a t-shirt. Come on, use those jump jets. And why don't you all tell me what you're doing to make a really good pose, a promotional pose, before you rest for the
I
night
first-
and head out for the big match.
I first question Granny P saying jump jets plural.
She
We
saw
only
that there were
found
2.
one
Bear Drills, the big bear ain't fooling me.
Yeah.
Look at him. They're sticking right out of his butt.
It's like,
It's so
"Fine."
obvious.
I don't think jump jets are subtle, especially when you strap them to a bear.
It's basically
Yeah.
like putting a firecracker up Bear Drills. You think I can't see that? Come on. I don't need glasses that bad.
Oh, cat's invading your camera. So basically,
no,
what I try
cat!
to do is give me a wrestling move now that we saw the cat.
Yeah.
And we'll do
now
a
that my
jump jet
cat
style
has
one.
Jump jets.
Perfect
Jump
timing,
jets,
kitty.
polar bear death chomp.
That's
Death
definitely it.
Oh,
Okay,
Polar
so
bear death chomp.
okay, let's think of a way to kind of put this together. So let's say, all right, so I basically take 2 burning barrels or whatever, and basically I kind of like put like a target somewhere down like a hallway or whatever. Like it's like a very large like warehouse area, I assume. And I basically take 2 burning barrels where I can grip it without hurting myself. And I'm like, all right, watch this. And I basically take both of the barrels and do the jumps, just go as fast as I can towards a target, like a burning, like a wooden crate or something. And it's called Polar Bear Death Jaw, was it? Or
Polar Bear Death Chop.
Okay, Death Chop. Okay, so I basically take like the 2 barrels, like charge as fast as I can, and it lift both the barrels up, and like Polar Bear Death Chop, and I basically like slam both of the barrels down on top of the barrel. I'm hoping like the burning barrels and everything makes like a huge explosion to symbolize death and destruction, and somehow polar bears, because I'm a bear, because that's how that works. It's just, bam.
You just hear like click, 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 click as the camera drone has now changed into photo mode, and you got Granny P who's just using the remote control to like right up to your face while you're doing that, and then it quickly jumps back as that explosion happens, and she's just back there going, "Brilliant, beautiful, beautiful, that's perfect! I got the best shots. We're gonna sell so many of these online."
And I'm like turning around where there's like a big fire and everything, and it just starts doing like a cool slow walk or whatever, and then get like Litigator's like 3 rims, like rhinestone glasses, and put it there. And I just imagine it gets edited and cut towards like Litigator glasses now sold now, and it just has like a big flashy link at the bottom right.
Now available. Yeah. Bear Drills, what is one of your best
not
skills?
Actually fire.
I was hoping we could role play out of it so I wouldn't have to roll anything to fail. Athletics,
well, you're
I
gonna get a big bonus. Okay, why don't you roll an athletics check?
Technically, like, funny enough, it's medicine's technically my best check, but we can do athletics. So whoop. And here's my 1. I knew it! I called it! I called the 1!
Did you seriously? Oh no!
I called the 1!
Yeah, that's definitely a good roll.
Somebody help a Bear Drills. Somebody help make sure that he doesn't fall on his bare face.
I don't want to go anywhere near those flaming barrels that he's carting down the hall. That's a bad thing to roll a 1 on.
I will jump
This is a preview for the helicopter.
Fly away. Yeah.
Hieronomo Jones, this sounds like a job for you.
Yeah.
Please save
totally.
Bear from himself.
Athletic?
Yes.
That's a natural 20. What is this game?
See, you gotta be a nice guy. The universe rewards nice people. Truth, honor, valor, and peace. Truth, honor, valor.
So basically, Bear Drills, you have jumped up to try to create this giant, massive, dramatic-looking explosion for this still shot, while Granny P is snapping away, and you just happen to make the ugliest face at the time when it would have been the most perfect shot, and your jaw just goes over, and you got your jowls flapping, and your eyelid is like flipped open, and it just looks awful. But Hieronomo Jones, at the last minute, you jump in the middle of the shot, and you pose. You do the Burt Reynolds on a bearskin rug pose right there.
There you go.
Next to Bear Drills, and Granny P is just, that's perfect. This will sell so much in March. I can't wait to get this online. Oh, I can get this up on the store in like 10 minutes. It's gonna be great. We're gonna sell so many of these. Litigator, quick, get them to sign waivers and make sure that kids won't decide to try this on their own, because you could kill yourself if you do that. She looks over at you. Bear Drills as your fur is singed a little bit from the explosion that's happened.
Yeah, I'm we'll just use the standard way.
Oh, Bear, you tried so hard.
Dude, this game.
He did.
I don't think Starfinder likes me, fellas. I just don't think.
I don't think Roll20 likes you.
We have
you were sort of tempting fate the moment you said, I want to use the safest way possible to pick up these 2 barrels of Bertrand.
All right, so the night, unless you're going to do anything else, the night will pass without any real incident. You're going to have you're going to have some kind of fitful sleep as you're anticipating your big moment, but you're not attacked or anything like that. You can make your way to the helipad fairly easily without really anything blocking your way. All of the fans are upstairs. Everything is happening up on the roof. I'm assuming you're doing this before dawn. All right, so let's have you. You are going to arrive At the helipad, you go up the stairs, you open up the door, and you see that there's a very small helipad that's jutting out from the side of the building, and you look across the way. There's a kind of a big industrial courtyard, for lack of a better word, in between you and the other side of the roof. And you can even see from here that the roof is full of kind of boxes and other sorts of materials that you might expect on the top of a refinery. But there is a massive metal cage that has been set up. And you see that there are indications that there's going to be some kind of event. Why don't you all make me perception checks at this point?
Oh, yeah,
Are you
I'm good
implying
at
that
those.
there might be some kind of match in the cage?
I don't know,
That's it.
Litigator. Is that a thing that happens in these wrestling leagues?
That's kind of a reach, we really ought to.
Yeah, I
not,
feel like you
overstep
should
ourselves.
get some more information before you decide that. So, Litigator, you are able to make out, just as you squint your eyes, that dangling down from that cage is some sort of figure that's bound by a rope. You don't see anything else, but it looks like that's like a person that's been stuck there.
Can I identify what species this person might be?
Well, you see that they've got horns.
Oh, I've got a theory.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we may have found the Brandy Brutal.
The
They're hanging
beef.
from the cage. Or possibly some other sort of minotaur creature. I really don't know. From distance, they all
So
kind of just see the horns.
The galaxy.
what do you think the odds are of me landing this helicopter, which looks expensive, mind you, on top of that cage?
Not good.
Let me say, I know the Drills believes you can get the helicopter on top of the cage safely without death is another question.
I believe that legally defined landing, making any sort of physical contact with the ground. So yes, I do. I have utmost faith in you.
Oh, we're guarantees to succeed.
You read the manual, right, Tehwas? How hard could it really be?
I know exactly how hard it could be because I read the manual.
And you don't
If she had read the
understand
manual,
any
we'd
of the
have a shot.
jargon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember, if you remember back from when Stonebold was telling you about this helicopter and it having been secured so that it wasn't used specifically for this purpose, that there you can pretty easily see when you get up on this roof in the areas where I've put your tokens that there are cinder blocks that have been tied to 3 of the blades of the helicopter right there. And so Stonebold did warn you that you were going to need to get rid of those so the thing would function properly.
So is that to keep it from blowing away, or what exactly was the intent here?
I think
Is
that was
this a Zeppelin?
I think that was their very rudimentary way of trying to use like a wheel lock. Have you guys ever seen wheel locks that are on cars to keep them
Sure.
from rolling down hills? This is a helicopter lock.
I mean, the other possibility is that this is something that the litigator would put onto a helicopter as a first step to say you shouldn't pilot this, but if you remove the cinder blocks, it's your own damn fault.
That would be legally binding, yes.
That's right. That's right. You are accepting the terms and conditions by removing the cinder blocks from the helicopter. We are no longer liable for your injuries. All right. Yeah, so the helicopter's there and it looks pretty, I mean, it's kind of old and beat up. It looks pretty functional, and Stonebold told you that he was pretty sure it still worked.
I'm ready for it. I'll move over to the pilot seat.
Okay, so I will point out that this here where I'm pinging, these are just like stacked up crates, and they are stacked up to, they're almost kind of like stairs. They're stacked up to a height where you could just like jump over from the top of them over to a blade if you wanted to.
Do we see do we see anything stopping us from just getting in the helicopter or taking the blocks off?
You don't see anything that is stopping you currently. Nothing has shown up.
Okay.
Okay, I think Bear Drills, why don't you go out there just if anybody does anything. We'll wait here behind these boxes and provide backup if necessary.
All right, shields up.
I'll
Start walking out there.
I'll accompany Tehwas as well, just towards the nearest cinder block.
Okay, and the cinder blocks are on top of the blade, so you actually have to like climb up there to physically get them off.
Well, I will
Unless you have jump jets.
I think Daeve
Unless you use your
will
jump
actually
jets.
climb up that pile of crates. You said there was one
Can
you said there was one cinder block on the rotor near the top of those crates.
Yeah, so there's one here, there's one here, and then there's one here right above Bear Drills.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the map.
Yeah, I'm just climbing up, and I go to the cinder block, and I assume it's kind of rudimentary, just weighing this thing down. I basically use my strength to just crack it open or just get rid of it.
Yeah, why don't you can either make an athletics or a strength check.
All right, here
I
comes
assume
that other
athletics will be
one.
better for you.
That's an 8. That's an 8 plus, that's a...
Is that an
that's right.
11 total?
That's a 13. For some reason, my things are messed up. I don't know why. That's a 13 total.
Yep.
Okay, so
It seemed
you
like it would
bring...
be-
Go ahead.
You bring your massive bear fist down on this cinder block, and as you just sort of hit it a little bit on the side, you crack it deeply down there as you're just roaring, and it looks like it's going to take another hit for you to properly break it through. But as soon as you do that,
Gasp.
Security
Gasp.
robot.
yeah, you see flying towards you, making really obnoxious buzzing sounds, these flying drone-like robots that are very similar to the robots that swarmed you in the very beginning of this adventure down in the arena when you were doing your original
Wow.
extreme event. And they are bzzz, and you hear them saying in a very robotic protocol, stun losers, bring opponents to roof. Attack! And they're gonna shoot at you.
Get away from my damn helicopter. This thing's mine.
I need some initiatives.
Right. Click your token, then click initiative there. And I finally got a natural 20 for once in my life.
Hey,
now,
you
now
know,
you can
now's a
fail
good time
earlier
for
than
it.
the rest of us.
Yes.
Hey, there's
There's
the
your
law of
one.
averages again.
Yeah. Nuffle is against us. So at this point, yeah, so I kind of look at the drone, I guess. There's only 2 drones, you see. There we go. It's going to be pretty
there's
hard
only
for him to
2.
kind of get the entire map in for us. So for that, I look at the drone that's kind of closest to me. I'm just trying to swat him away. He's like, no, get out of here. And
Bees!
since I enter into combat, I get an entry point, correct? And I want to
Yes,
use
you
that
do.
to basically, just wind up a lot of power in my fist. Get out of here, insect! And I just pretty much just duke it with an entropic strike.
All right, excellent. Are you on the ground right now, Bear Drills, or did you jump up? No, you jumped up on a blade, didn't you?
I think I was climbing up to it and onto the thing, so I assume that thing's hovering or so.
Yes, yeah, they fly.
Cool. Unfortunately, I more than likely failed with a 12.
Yes, you miss, unfortunately, and you only would have rolled a 1 for damage anyway, so...
No! Alright, even though...
So this thing is bobbing and weaving around you, going zzz, making almost like bee sounds from what you recommend.
You
So
know what that means, Bear
Tehwas-
Drill? Where there's bees, there's honey.
Honey! Just, blood.
Where there's bees, there's helicopters. All right. I meant what I said before. This is my damn helicopter. They can get the hell away. And I'm going to start shooting at them.
Okay. Yeah, do you, what weapons do you guys have, by the way?
Fist.
I got my acid rifle.
Excellent.
I have the
That's true.
infinity of the multiverse and a gun.
I have this.
Well,
My solar weapon, as always, my staff.
excellent, your staff. Go ahead, Tehwas. Why don't you try to shoot these security drones here?
Pew pew.
That's
All
gonna
right, I
hit.
hit an EAC 17 for 4 acid damage.
And you hit this one here?
That's right.
Okay, excellent. For
Since Bear Drills was good enough to knock it toward my rifle.
Yes, you're
that was
welcome.
really. And you guys hear, you hear Granny P from behind you, going, "This is gonna be real great for the intro. Make it real fancy. Make it real cinematic. Come on, let's give them a good show before the show, if you know what I'm saying."
Okay, like,
And then I spend my move
okay.
action. I use my move action moving toward the helicopter pilots.
Okay. Sounds good. So this drone is going to fly backwards from you, Bear Drills, and it's going to just
Cowards.
lift its integrated pulsecaster pistol and shoot you with what looks like, I don't know, some kind of maybe rubber bullets or something.
Yeah. I assume you took a protected 5 foot.
Yes, he did.
Good. I go,
did.
oh no, shield. I'm trying to like protect myself from the rubber pellets with my shield. That will not do it.
That's not gonna hit you. Okay, so you bob and weave aside from these rubber bullets that it is shooting at you, and Hieronomo Jones, it's your go.
Yeah, let's try out these new jump jets, and I will jump to the opposite side of the drone so that I can set Peyton up for a flank, and then I'm gonna attack him with my staff. Let's see what we do there. Only a 13 though.
Only a 13. That is not quite gonna hit, unfortunately.
That's all right. That's all right. I will set up my teammate.
All right. So, Bear Drills, you hear out of the corner of your eye that buzzing sound. It sounds so much like a bee, and that makes your stomach rumble.
I must consume the droids.
You can almost smell that delicious honey, Bear Drills, as this thing is going to shoot at you.
Uh-oh. It is shooting at me with the bullets?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no.
Does a 16 hit you? Does it hit your KAC?
My KAC is exactly 16.
Oh, sorry, your EAC.
Or EAC
it's your
is
EAC,
13.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it hits your EAC. All right, so it is going to just pew, pew, pew. Those little honey-like bullets into your thick bear hide there for 5 points of damage.
I disagree with this.
You can't disagree with something that's shooting at you. It's still going to be shooting at you.
I mean, I sure as hell can, but it's not going to do anything.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Litigator, these robots are setting up in a way that you don't like. What are you going to do?
Well, that ain't good. Let's see. I will try and move close. I'll move up here because I would rather be closer to everybody else rather than at a distance.
Yep.
And with my azimuth laser pistol, I will take a shot at the one that is on Hieronomo Jones.
This one right here. Excellent.
It's the one. And it doesn't really matter.
And unfortunately, you look really cool doing it, but you do not hit. As you hear your grandma razzing you from the back of this helipad. Come on, you gotta show him a good fight. That's not any way to open up a cage match. Here, let me show you. And she starts rummaging around in her bag.
Oh, I'm sure she's got something good in there.
Oh, it's never good when Granny brings out the bag of many things. Cord.
Yes. All right, so at this point, thanks to my excellent ally for setting me up, I will basically just do a little hop over, so bam, land right there. But as I'm coming down, I'm pretty much having, I actually want to use this entire thing to basically like do a charge basically at him because I'm going like in a straight line at it, which will hopefully give me a point if I remember my Vanguard rules right. And so I'm basically just doing a whole charge. Can't use it right now though. I'm going to go just straight in at him using an entropic strike once more. Just going Earth Sign Smash! And that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
It's going to be 6 damage total.
Hits.
Nice.
Excellent. All right, so you just bring your massive bear paw in a fist down on this drone as it just it starts to short circuit just a little bit, it wobbles in the air, but it is still up. Tehwas, it's your go.
Still up, you say? Ugh. Not on my watch.
What are you gonna do about that, Tehwas?
I'm gonna take another shot at it. I mean, a 12 VAC has a chance.
Just gonna miss, unfortunately.
And then I'm going to hop into the helicopter pilot seat because, I mean, there's still most of like 2 cinder blocks on these rotors. I have no idea what happens if I start turning this thing on, but we might find out soon enough.
That's true. That's true.
I figure we basically have the opportunity for some Indiana Jones action where we push a drone into some spinning rotors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah?
I like it.
Yeah, excellent plan. Okay, so while you are doing that, and you move your token over there, did you, Tehwas? Yes, you did. Okay, so while you're doing that, this one right here, the Skulkbot number 2, if you will, is going to repeat its orders in that very tinny voice that it's got. Retrieve, losers, fight match, win for Skulk, Skulkbot, attack, and it's actually going to try to. Are you on the ground there, Peyton? Or are you still up?
I jumped. I had to jump down basically to go and attack that thing.
So this thing, instead of flying up and shooting at you, is just going to slam its robotic body into you.
Oh.
And it's going to hit at you with a 15. Does that hit your KAC?
My KAC? No, it does not.
All right, so you were able to dodge to the side from this thing.
Haha! Suck it, robot.
I'm just gonna shift up that way. Hieronomo Jones.
Yeah, let's try. I can't quite get over. Oh, I got mobility. Okay, I'm gonna move up to here, which is gonna provoke an attack of opportunity from.
Okay, so it's gonna slam at you.
Yeah, but my AC will be higher from mobility.
Okay, so let's go ahead and resolve that attack of opportunity now.
Yep.
That's a 2.
I'm guessing that's gonna miss you.
So he does a sort of somersault handstand thing, and then strikes out with his spear. I mean his staff, but rolls a 1.
Oh no!
No.
Happens to the best of us, man, not just the bears.
Oh, now you're really part of the team.
I am. I feel like I belong now. I'm a real boy.
You're not an extremer until you've rolled a few natural ones in a row.
That's right.
That's true.
Yep.
All right. So.
And I'm at 2 points of. I'm at 2 points of attunement.
Yeah. Okay. So this one down here needs to go, and it is going to circle back around behind you, Litigator, and shoot at you.
Oh no!
As you hear it just kind of taunting you. Like, I don't know who programmed these things, but it keeps telling you that you're losers and you're going to stand down. So just an 11.
Apparently our team programmed these.
They're just observing what happened. They're not making any judgments. It just sounds like they're trash talking.
They're learning, adapting from watching our own actions.
Does an 11 hit your EAC?
It 100% doesn't.
It does not. Okay. So that's going to be its turn, and it is now your turn, Litigator.
So Litigator will come up behind that other, I guess not quite behind it, but up next to that other one that didn't shoot at him.
That's this one right here.
And let's see, does it have any exposed electronics that I can see?
Yeah,
it's
you can
a robot.
see that.
It is a robot, but yeah.
Yeah, after that last hit that it took from Bear Drills, it was sparking, so you can definitely see some of the dented plating and some electronics underneath.
So Dave will turn around, wink at the camera, do the finger gun straight into the air, and as he raises his right hand, a sort of a nimbus of electrical power grows around it, and he just jams it directly into the robot.
Oh yeah, excellent.
And here comes a 1.
It is the prophecy. It will be true. Well, it's a couple more than a 1.
Close enough.
It was a 4, okay? Get it right. No, that misses. Anything else that you're going to do after your very underwhelming roll there?
It was the wind-up that matters, right? That's what I keep
That's
telling
right.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as you don't die, all that really matters is that it looks good for the cameras. You got a few bruises and bloody noses, you just need to suck it up, okay?
Yeah, just remember to cut away right before I miss, and then my victory will be implied.
Don't worry, Davey. We're very used to cutting out all of your bad footage, okay? We're very used to getting rid of the bad parts.
We're used to cutting out all your failures, which means you only have like a minute of footage in a 3-hour session.
Yeah, it's true. All of our family movies cut out about 5 seconds before the end.
Well, I mean, you don't want all that footage of you crying, do we? I mean, nobody wants to see any of that, and you do.
Don't try and tell me that you haven't saved that footage in a totally different reel.
Well, when I need to make myself happy, sometimes I watch it, okay? So sue me.
I mean,
I grew up in a healthy, supportive environment.
Your shouting
Sometimes when I need a laugh.
time is what got us Litigator in the first place.
Sometimes when I need a laugh, it's like Saturday morning cartoons, except for it's you and it's crying and you're a little Dorindy. It's great. Ooh, do you think we could sell that
Wow.
footage on the merch site?
Almost
know-
certainly, yes.
Litigator, all of this explains a lot about you. Like, I learned a lot about you from your family. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry.
So when Granny P is revealing terrible, traumatic things from your childhood, she was still digging through her bag there, and she actually thrusts up each hand, and in each hand is a grenade. And she says, "You think you might need some of these? They might come in handy for you. They might make big booms that would look good on camera." While you're
My
being menaced by
helicopter!
these
No.
drones.
Please, we don't need help setting it on fire.
Sure, just please throw it. Don't pull out the pin before you throw it.
Well, I wasn't gonna throw it. I meant for you to throw it. Come on, do I have to tell you everything, Davey?
I will turn away from the camera, and a single tear rolls down my cheek. You're not catching this one, Grandma.
Just your fist
Wait, more
balls
footage we're
up in
gonna
a
have to
rage.
cut out. More footage we're gonna have to cut out. That's right, Davey. At least you're not in a fetal position this time.
Wait, whose
Not
turn
yet.
is it?
I don't even remember. I think it was my
It's
turn,
actually
which means it's the
your
end of the round.
turn. Yeah, it's actually your turn.
Is it my turn or Litigator's?
It's Litigator's turn.
No, no, it was my turn. Remember, I failed dramatically.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you moved into
Are
the
you done?
attack.
That's how we know you took your actions.
I moved. I took my actions. I humiliated myself.
You
and
cried.
that was
Granny
it.
P
Yeah, I
is gonna have to
cried.
cut that out.
We all learned a lot. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
It's for her personal comedic collection at home, so it's not completely wasted. Your grandma's not very nice, Litigator.
She may be the man I am today, though.
She's really not very nice. Not at all.
Okay, so Cord, it's now your turn.
Excellent. I'm tired of these buzzes, and I demand the honey. I'm going to use my entropic, point, and then entropic strike. Why do I always use it? Well, it is flanking, so I don't know how flanking
Yeah, you
works.
get +2.
Yeah, with the flank, that is just gonna hit.
Good. So
you
that is going to be
go.
6
Ooh.
damage plus 1d4, I believe.
That's right.
Yep. For your extra damage.
Not
for
a
your entropic
1d.
strike.
Give me a second. Roll 1d4. There we go. And that extra damage is going to be
Yeah.
additional 1. So
One.
it was 15 with the flank, and it's 7 damage total to that same robot that I'm flanking with Hieronomo.
Oh, Bear Drills, when you hit your fist into the drone, you feel the metal plating just crack underneath it, and you feel it's like an electric surge going through the body of the drone there as it is just going haywire.
Can I take over
clearly-
for it? So basically, when I'm punching it, I see I assume it's dead now. So it's just dead. I'm like picking up
is.
its corpse, and I still see it doing its messaging, going like, "Pick up losers, defeat, you are all losers." I'm like, "No, you're the loser," and I'm just like closing the fist on his voice box, and then I see the supposed honey start dripping out, which might be the cause of all of my failures. Because I keep eating this stuff. And it's going,
That's not honey, Bear Drills.
Wait, honey,
Not
and
honey.
I store it.
It's antifreeze, but still sweet.
Yeah.
So enjoy, I
I
guess.
think I
Did
see
you-
why you can't read.
All right, that's the end
Did
of
you
my
drink
turn.
that? Did you drink that, Bear Drills?
Last time we did, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did.
It make a lot. It answers a lot of questions. Let's move
It
on.
does.
what?
It really does.
I'm not even gonna make you make a fortitude save, Bear Drills, because I feel like that your
have
body,
immunity.
your
Look.
body is accustomed to you doing this, and that is probably an
It's not
explanation.
even the only
litigator grew
toxic
up
chemical
with-
he's drunk today.
Yeah.
If the litigator grew up with all of Granny P's abuse and doesn't have to make a will save now, I imagine
Yeah.
Bear Drills doesn't need to make a fortitude save to drink
That's
not
right.
honey.
Trey-wise,
I grew up being constantly insulted by my grandmother. You grew up drinking many toxic chemicals.
The crucibles
Potato,
of our youth,
potato.
everyone. That's how we grew up
Uh,
into the great wrestlers that we are today.
That's right. I mean, he wouldn't be able to sell nearly the amount of merch if he hadn't dealt with Granny P's abuse for his entire life, including all of the videos of him crying that she saved.
It rendered me incapable of feeling shame.
No kidding. So speaking of things we grew up doing, apparently Tehwas grew up trying to time how to turn on ceiling fans in time to hit flies out of the air. So she's going to give a quick little jostle of the keys. Are there keys? How do I even start a helicopter? What does the user manual say about starting a helicopter?
Don't you just kick it, right?
Yeah,
There's
I
the
mean,
button.
Yeah, a bunch
There's
of switches. There's an ignition switch.
yeah, the user manual clearly shows you that there are buttons and levers to pull, and you pull them in the correct order to get the engine started.
So good. So I basically start up my early 1900s old-timey little piano background, crank the car sort of montage going.
Yeah, you gotta
My
crank it up.
plan right now,
and then-
my plan right now is to use the one and only rear view mirror on this poor thing to try and time starting the rotors the moment that this drone closes in. See if maybe I can knock it out of the air.
Oh, right. So let's see. You're gonna need to force the ignition because there are like 2.5 cinder blocks basically, and you guys were right on the nose in that that's not really a way to secure a helicopter. Stone Bold and the Skulk don't really know what they're doing, but they are kind of lodged a little bit. So why don't you make me like a piloting check to see if you can push those controls far enough to get the blades going there.
I mean,
Yeah,
with it being so technical in this case for startup, would an
Yeah.
engineering check work?
It would, yeah, that would work as
Hooray.
well.
All right, yay! Now I can roll a low number and get a slightly higher number.
Yay!
That's a
Woohoo.
24.
Hey!
Ooh, 24. All right. So
Ooh.
you're just like whoosh, 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 and all of a sudden you just hear whop, 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 whop as those blades have gotten going at a normal speed.
The
Bam.
smiling
Yeah.
stick figure in this diagram was correct.
Bear,
the-
duck your head.
Could the blades
Oh.
be like? Could the blades throw the cinder blocks off with centripetal force, and he can aim them at the robot?
Well, actually, that's the thing is that everybody's gonna need to make a reflex save, including the robot, to make sure that their chunks of cement are not gonna fly in your face.
Nice.
Woohoo.
So
nice.
everybody roll a reflex save.
Oh, I'm bad at
including
those.
me.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Mine should be higher than that. If I rolled an 8, it should be 11. Probably still not high enough, but that's what it should be.
Okay. So everybody who rolled under a 12 basically take 2
Yep.
points of damage.
Oh,
Okay.
And if you made your save, you don't take any.
I
All
really
that
do like
practice
what
from dodging the rocks Granny threw at me at my Little League games paid off.
I really like the implication of this because we have all these people taking damage from 2 cinder blocks, which means at least one of them bounced.
That's right. I need the robots. The robots making a reflex save as well. Oh, and it made it. Just barely. All right, so Tehwas, that is your turn. It's now this bot back here. And so what's going to happen is that this bot is going to come up behind you, Bear Drills, and try to slam at you. But when it does, you notice that, in fact, it's actually going to come right there. When it does, you notice that it might be, you might be able to grab it at some point and try to throw it up into the blades, if you want.
good.
You can't do it yet. It's not your turn, but
But right about now.
you're a
That's
funk
it.
show brother.
Nah, let's hope like just let it move like a weird way for attack of opportunity. I'll just attack of opportunity it into the blades. I'll just uppercut it.
Yeah, well, it looks like it just slammed right into you.
Oh,
There, Joel, is that a hit?
Yep, that's my belly. Oh, that's a 24.
And that's gonna be
Ugh.
6 points of damage.
Oof. There goes my there's all my stamps.
Hieronomo Jones. Bear Drills is out of stamps.
Yeah.
Get your entropy.
Hieronomo Jones, he is going to jump jet up over the helicopter rotors
Ugh.
and come down over here. And
Okay.
I'm at 3 points of photon, so I'm going to supernova here, and that
Oh,
will only get the
yeah.
robot.
Ooh.
So that actually I can go there, so I make sure not to get bear drills. So so that's gonna he's gonna need to make a reflex save.
Okay. I'll go ahead
He
and
just
roll that now.
explodes.
So the reflex save for the drone there.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
a-
natural 20.
Damn.
Haha.
Okay, so he'll take
Screw your Nova.
He'll take half damage. So he'll take 3 still.
Also, all of
3,
those
okay.
crates were filled with fireworks.
Shut up.
Just all of a sudden, just
All right, so all
take half
right.
damage.
So now we're up to Litigator.
I am going to take a careful. I can step back over this dead one, right?
Yes, you can. It's just a
I
hunk of metal
will,
on the ground.
Take a careful step back over this hunk of metal that thwarted my attempt to do something cool, and
Yeah.
using the finger gun in my other hand, I'll take a shot at this guy. So that is another
All right.
range.
This one right here, the one that's still up.
And yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think all the bad
Oh,
luck
it
rolls
bobs
went
and
to you today.
weaves. Zoom, 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 zoom. Anything else?
Actually, I don't think it bobbed and weaved. I think I backed over, tripped over the other one, and
I think that
accidentally
you
fired
were-
in the air.
Yeah, I think you were showboating too much. You were basically just like doing the finger guns and hopping back and forth, and you kind of got off balance there,
It's
unfortunately.
important. We've gotten into the standard operating procedure now, just cutting away before I actually do anything. So
Oh, great. Some more footage that I can't use. Good job, Davey. You're making my job a lot harder.
just splice it together from that attempt several hours ago when I succeeded at something.
Well,
Don't
it's like
worry.
a-
We have the one time.
It's a completely
We
different
use footage from
area.
the one time you did great.
It's like from the beginning of that first match when you come in to attack the robot, then it cuts to a completely different area where you land the punch or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
see-
like, wow, he punched him so hard, he went to another reality.
This is why I always wear the same suit.
We're gonna have to put. We're gonna have to superimpose your head on Hieronomo Jones's body because Hieronomo Jones at least knows what's going on, knows how to make a good scene, right, Hieronomo?
The arms will give it away.
Not necessarily. People tell me that I look like you all the time.
Just turn to the side. Nobody will notice.
There you
It'll be
go.
fine.
To the side. Like you give me a
Cord.
good.
It is your turn,
Okay.
Cord.
Cool. All right. So I want to use my athletics to basically grab the robot and just whoosh, huck it up into the rotors, and see if we'll just destroy it immediately.
Okay.
Can I use my athletics?
All
to
right.
do
So let's see that. Why don't we have you make an attack roll to see if you can grab it and then just use your own momentum to throw it up. So if you make an attack roll,
All right. So
would
that
you
is
do that, and
basically
then I'll have it.
a D20 plus 3. I think my proficiency thing is. So we'll let's roll a natural
Yeah,
20
just roll
for
your
one, just to
normal
see.
melee attack.
Yeah, so it'll be that plus 3, I believe. So that'd be like a 14.
Ooh, that. Oh, it's gonna be a 14. Okay, so that is enough for you to snatch onto it. And what I'm gonna have it do here is roll a reflex save for it. Oh, and it is not gonna be able to shake your paws off of it as you just throw it up into those blades, and it goes. Womp, 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 and there are pieces of robot just spewing everywhere, and everybody is going to need to make another reflex save to avoid the flaming shards of metal that
I
are
let
flying
people know,
everywhere.
go like, heads up, and go swoosh, and then just hear it just gets destroyed.
I'm just glad for the opportunity to show off the one thing I'm good at, ducking flying debris.
And my reflex save was a 14.
All right, so everybody who made a 13 and above does not take 3. Everybody who rolled a 12 or below takes 3 points of piercing damage
Hooray!
from these pieces of robot.
Good. These robots are
Alright,
taken care of,
so-
boys.
You guys got rid of the robots. Tehwas, it is up to you. Combat is pretty much over. Do you got a plan for going forward with all this?
Well, I mean, I assume that at some point our plan is to get off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, the helicopter
but now-
rotors are already spinning. What else is there
Yeah.
for us to do?
I think we just need to coordinate and make sure that our fans are actually moving forward with their Vuvu trumpet or Vuvu vumpet, whatever they're called.
Vuvu Zumpet.
I believe, yeah, Vuvu Zumpet was where we landed on that one.
Vuvu Zumpet. Vuvu Rumpet sounds more like a Vuvuzela Crumpet or something like that.
One is a snack, one is a musical instrument. Okay, get your terms correct, John.
They are both no more than 20% lead.
And they're both on sale at the Litigator's merch stands. 20%
Indeed,
off.
they are.
Oh, good.
Sign this blank piece of paper, and we'll throw in an extra one for free.
So yes, I will turn back and give the obligatory "get in the chopper" and
Yes.
moving us toward the showdown.
Dun, dun.
All right. So, what are you all gonna do? Are you gonna go ahead and get in the chopper? Is there anything you want to do before you?
Can you
Do
remind
that?
me where are the fans in relation to us right now? Are they on the roof with us?
So Stonebold has brought them up on the roof and is gonna burst in when the match is scheduled to start. And you can't really tell, you're too far away to see if there are people kind of on the ground. You just see the silhouette of who you assume is Brandy Brittle hanging down from the rope that's attached to the cage.
Okay. I'm assuming that I don't have to tell all of the Vuvu Zumpet players to start into Ride of the Valkyries as the helicopter takes off. That should just happen organically by itself.
You hear Granny P behind you. We can get a soundtrack for this. This is a great idea. Dun 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 dun. Buy my merchandise.
I wonder if Fly of the Valkyries is royalty. I don't think we actually would get in trouble if we used it.
Like having it played on a Vuvuzela.
Yeah,
you might have.
It's barely recognizable played on a Vuvuzela, but also I think Wagner's been dead for a while.
You might have to tell them what to play because Apocalypse Now does not exist in this universe, so they never watched that movie.
I like to think it's in the Akashic record somewhere.
Oh, there you go. Good save. Good save.
Yeah.
Akashic.
Yeah,
There you
just
go.
pull it out of there. It'll be
So you
somewhere.
are from alternate realities. You're the person who manipulates alternate realities. So.
Plus, the melody isn't 100% correct, so we won't have to worry about getting sued, do we, Litigator?
I mean,
right.
it's impossible to play an actual melody on a Vuvu Zumpet. The worst you can do is sound like somebody screaming. So
I just imagine that the entire thing sounds like.
yeah, it all just sounds like somebody feeding a cat through a meat.
Bear Grylls, does it sound like honey?
It sounds like something I need to get away from, so I quickly get inside of the helicopter. Trying to find like a seat in and everything else. I'm trying to like motioning everyone in. Come on, we gotta get inside into the choppers and all that, and stealing Tehwas' thunder with it.
Since Bear Drills got in first, I think the rest of us are probably relegated to hanging on to the outside.
Yeah, but before I go in, I quickly run up to Grandma. And pretty much he's like, thank you for the grenades, Grandma. Like, give her like a bear hug. Like, oh, I love you, Grandma. And then like run right back to the helicopter with a box full of grenades, I assume she had.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's going to come with you. She's not going to let you just leave her here on that helipad.
Well, I grab a couple grenades then.
You think just because I'm some old lady that I can't be in a helicopter? What's wrong with you?
I'm just
You know that you
thinking
can't do
about your
anything without
safety,
Granny
Grandma.
P. Don't you try to butter me up with them bear hugs. I know what that's all about. Come on, I'm coming with you and I'm bringing all of my grenades.
But Grandma.
Now, don't you put Grandma on me or I'm going to make you lay down for your nap because you're getting to be a little bit of a cranky boy. A cranky boy. You should see what happens to Davey P when he needs to get put down for his nap. You tell him, Davey, what do I do when you have to take a nap?
Do you put him down with a shotgun? What do you do?
It's not a shotgun. It's just a rag dipped in. What is it again, Grandma?
Does it smell like chloroform?
It usually does, yes.
It's not. David, I told you not to say that in front of people. What did I tell you?
I didn't say anything.
No, it smells like mint. It smells like tea.
Mint-flavored chloroform.
It smells like Snuggles and cookies.
Available in the gift shop.
That's right, and you can get it now 20% off, just like everything else.
I'll remind everybody that this helicopter's insurance policy only covers us if you actually strap in.
That's right, put on your seatbelts. We don't want to lose any of you. You're very important to our merchandise plan.
It's probably also the only way you'll survive the landing.
Also, according to the last
there's
page
that
of this manual, the warranty on this thing expired 25 years ago.
Ah, good.
Come on, Tehwas. let me up there in the cockpit with you. I'll help you read the manual while you try to fly this thing. How's that?
Oh, no. I don't need any more information from that manual. All it does is give me anxiety. Nope, away we go. I start pulling up.
That manual has more umlauts than I've seen in anything ever.
Right. So I assume we all get inside the helicopter.
Yeah, you guys all get inside. Sounds like Tehwas is starting to pull you up. What is your actual plan? Because you haven't discussed anything yet other than you're getting in the helicopter.
All right.
Well,
so
Tehwas is driving, so that's up to you.
So aside from this cage, what is there to land on, hypothetically?
Yeah.
I know there might not be an
guys,
official place to land.
Right. So you guys are looking around actually in the helicopter, and you are seeing that there are lots of like old ropes and harnesses and grappling hooks and things that you could use, as crew members basically getting in and out of a place very quickly. Again, this was probably used for different scouting missions and things like that. But the roof in general is mostly flats. There is also the cage over there. There's also like a big wall, basically, a big side of the building that is sloped. That you could try to set the helicopter down on if you wanted to do it on the top of that and then just kind of rush down into the action.
Nothing says responsible landing like parking a helicopter on a slope.
It's about a 45-degree angle, so it's going to take some tricky maneuvering. But
Look, just basically
get our
the biggest open spot.
The odds are
get out
equally
and we
good.
try to outrun it.
Just make sure to turn the wheels into the slope, and you'll be okay.
That's right. So is the plan to land the helicopter on the slope and then just kind of tumble down into the action?
Yeah, and I
Alright.
think for at least
Here's
one
what
of
I'm
the words
thinking.
you just used will apply.
Here's what I'm thinking. I can swing you by. I am shouting over the rotors into the headset that is mercifully shielding my ears from all the instrumentals. I can swing us by. All of you can swing off using ropes or grapples or whatever, or your rocket boosters spare. You've had your one failure. I bet you can do better this time. And then I'll try to park this thing, and we'll wing it.
Okay.
Do we?
Hieronomo,
Yeah.
you're a hero, right? Can you save the person we were actually sent here to save?
I'll try. Litigator, how about if I just carry you out of the helicopter?
I mean, sure. Why?
I've got a jump jet. Bear's got jump jets. You're the only. I presume, unless you fly. I presume you cannot fly.
I also presume that. Yes.
Okay, then why don't I just fireman carry you, and we'll just jump jet out of this thing.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
I am little, so why not?
I got 2 extra arms. That's what it's good for.
You guys see Granny P and Mama Martha strapping themselves into some of the harnesses and securing the ropes to the bottom rungs of the helicopter there as you are all coming up with this plan. Seems like they are no stranger to some of these more extreme antics.
Actually, Granny P was already wearing a parachute for reason.
What? You don't wear a parachute as part of your everyday attire? Sounds like
You gotta be prepared.
That's right. That's why I always have all of my things in my bag with me, right, Davey P?
It's true. You got the grenades in your purse. You're wearing the parachute.
Don't forget the baseball bat and the 2x4s covered in nails, broken glass. You never know when that's going to come in handy.
And the shark repellent. That hasn't come up yet, but there's still time.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. It has never come up yet, and we will never speak of it again. Right, Dave? And she's going to wink at you.
All right. I will climb onto... I guess I'm climbing onto Hieronymus's back.
No, I'm just gonna carry you with like 2 of my arms.
Too late. I already climbed onto your back.
Okay.
Give us a real hero pose, Hieronomo. Let's get a good picture for the crowd.
I can't do a hero pose with this 38-year-old Tondro on my back.
This your upper set of arms are behind your head, and your lower set of arms are just cradling the litigator like a baby.
I'm like 4'2". I can probably like stick my arms, my legs in between your two pairs of arms.
There you go. We can play horsey.
Piggyback ride that way. Yeah.
There you go.
You
Piggyback
hear
ride.
Granny
Okay.
P singing lullaby and good night. Don't you cry on camera, Davey. All right, so there's a plan. There's something that resembles a plan, and we will let you guys execute that plan. If we would like to take a break on the stream, Peyton, then we'll come back and we'll welcome back, Star Babies, to the Starfinder X.T.R.E.M.
Yeah!
All right, so our wrestlers are literally inside a helicopter ready to fly over to the rooftop cage match that is intended to end all cage matches, where Brandy Brutal, the Pact World's wrestling star, who was intended to draw up an audience for your own event, has been kidnapped and needs to be rescued so that they are not brutally humiliated on camera for the comeback of the Skulk, the villainous wrestler who is opposing you. It sounds like Tehwas was in the pilot seat. Is that correct?
I'm currently piloting this suplex copter, and it's really reassuring to hear that all of this loss of life has been to avoid embarrassment for a wrestler. That makes it all worth it.
Oh, people are fanatical, I suppose. Bear Drills, you are strapped into the helicopter there. Is that correct?
Hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, all right. We've got the Litigator as well.
That's right. The Litigator is riding piggyback on Hieronomo Jones's shoulders.
All right, and
figuratively.
And Hieronomo Jones, you're in there as well.
Was it Tondro?
I hope we still have Hieronomo Jones.
I hope so too, because otherwise I just
yes.
fell out of the helicopter.
We are all set to jump jet out of this helicopter when we get within 30 feet of the ground, because I'm not going to be in it when they try to land it. No way.
Just because the helicopter is being landed on a 45-degree angle by a creature that has no opposable thumbs and has never flown a helicopter before, I don't understand why we need to be so.
I don't understand why that's so dangerous, right?
That'd be dangerous.
So, and after having been thrown out of the cockpit by Tehwas, we've got Granny P and Mama Martha sitting beside you there in the back seats, having strapped themselves into harnesses attached to ropes that have been tied off to the helicopter. It sounds like that they are planning to rappel down into that scene with you as they are operating the camera drone, bringing all of your heroics to an intergalactic audience watching this amazing stream.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds irresponsible. But yes.
I'm sorry, that must just be my tone of voice. Sometimes I can't help it. They don't call me the Treasure GM for nothing.
Yeah.
All right, so Tehwas, are you going to go ahead and get us started with a piloting check or potentially an engineering check if you're reading the manual?
Ooh,
started and possibly fit. Same.
You mean I can steer with my knees while reading the manual?
I mean, you might need some help up there in the cockpit with you.
You don't have need.
Well, then we're not steering, are we?
You have segments that could probably pass. Here, tell you what, I'll read to you out loud from the manual while you try.
Okay, this is going to go great because it's going to be like, which button do I push? As you can see by figure 13.1a, you need to connect the copter defibrillator to see figure 13b3.
Yeah, what's the problem? You've got engineering.
Also, imagine there's like a basic version as well as like advanced version basic, to where just a video pops up going, "Hi, welcome to the helicopter flying tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to not crash. First, grasp the joystick."
You're a helicopter. Is this a business helicopter or a friendly helicopter?
If only this was the Matrix and we could get helicopter piloting downloaded into our brain as we run. That would be awesome.
There's actually no words at all in the manual. It's like IKEA instructions. It's just a bunch of blobby little pictures of people pushing buttons.
That's great.
This person is frowning at a pile of lumber. What does this have to do with helicopters?
Wrong manual.
This little guy seems to be on fire. Let's not push that button.
Yeah, Granny P is gonna push her way up into the cockpit and say, if all you know about is the book learnings and the engineers, why don't you just let me try to fly this thing and just tell me what to do? I'm sure I can figure it out. Didn't David tell you I flew copters in the war?
It's cool, Granny. Okay, now I'm piloting. Nope. The moment the Granny P starts to say, I'll do it.
Okay, that's a man's natural 1. Okay, I almost had a heart attack. At least you got a 17.
When she refers to the war, she's talking about my 6th birthday.
All right.
Well, we called it a war on account of all the shooting that happened.
So I have rolled my piloting check. I got a 17, which is way better than anything else I've done today.
Nice.
That's
all right.
Yeah.
So Granny P is not helping you at all with her natural 1. She has no idea what she's doing. She's trying to pull different levers. Luckily, the things that she's touching isn't affecting anything that's happening because you, Tehwas, manage to find the right combination and you get everybody off the ground. The helicopter starts to move up vertically and you are going to be able to push it over in the direction of the rooftop.
This is really good. Maybe 1d4 of us will actually survive.
Yeah. So are you trying to land it on that sloped roof that's above the cage? Or are you trying to do something else?
My plan is to try to get this down to a semi-responsible elevation and sort of circle for a moment above the cage while my companions do whatever they need to get out of this thing in a cool way. And then I will make a decision as to whether I'm landing on the slopes of doom or whether I'm going to try and do something else with the helicopter.
You know, I think you'd be feeling super confident after that initial takeoff went so smoothly. Why don't you try and get in real close so we can just grab Brandy Brutal off of that chain?
Hey, it's all of our grave.
I mean, that's a plan. That's a thing that could happen. Okay, so for that, sounds like you're going to need to make another piloting check as you are approaching this area. And while you're doing so, Granny P and Mama Martha are using the remote controls to fly the drone just below the helicopter, the bottom of the helicopter, so that there's a nice upward angled shot of all of you looking very heroic in your poses with your jump jets on, ready to jump down into action. Anybody want to give us a quick narration of what the crowd is going to see, because this is being streamed to thousands and thousands across the backed worlds?
That's a really good way to lose a drone.
It looks an awful lot like a rotor smashing into the front of a camera.
Oh, ye of little faith, boy, you think I can't pilot this thing? I can pilot this thing better than old what's-her-face up there could pilot this helicopter. Am I right, Mama Martha? Yeah, Granny, you're right, Mama Martha, you tell them. And they're just gonna keep going back and forth.
Good old spindle legs at the helm.
Old spindle legs.
If anybody
Old shellback.
If anybody lost your sunglasses, I got a few extra pairs here in my pocket.
Are you just going to start throwing them? Because the crowd, by the way, as you're making your way over the top of that roof, you see that all the crowd of those fans, the ones that you had to get through that were heckling you and causing problems for you down in the furnaces, they're all up on the roof and they're all cheering for you. And you can hear...
I will absolutely be I'll just throw handfuls of merch into the crowd.
Yeah,
including
and
accidentally one of the grenades.
Everybody scatters while it explodes in midair, thankfully not actually injuring anybody. That seems to whip the crowd up into an even further frenzy. As they're all...
I meant to do that. Real crowd, please.
Yeah, as they're all, just like cheering and like extreme, extreme, extreme. And Granny P fiddles with something that's in her purse, and all of a sudden your theme song, Litigator, starts playing.
Oh, yeah.
Struck.
I will, finger guns with lightning all the way. I will lean dangerously far out of the helicopter to do the finger guns without electrocuting everybody inside the helicopter.
Yeah. Why don't you? So while you're all playing this up for the crowd, why don't you go ahead and make a diplomacy check to see if you're going to be bolstered by the crowd supporting you. Anybody else who's doing any of this kind of stuff too, you are free to make a check to rile up the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
I think he did it. I think with his 19 plus $1 billion to get a 30, I think he's got it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Mental
so Litigator.
note: throw grenades into crowds of people more often.
well done, boy. They're eating out of the palm of your hand. Keep it up. Keep it up. And the drone is just like, as it's trying to get a real good close-up of your face there while you're being heroic, throwing things out to the crowd. So Tehwas, while all of this is happening, I am going to need another piloting check for you as you're starting to approach, trying to get to a good height, but you're also trying to, get it in such a way that you guys can be angled towards the crowd and moving it toward that cage area. Make another piloting check for me.
Oh, this is how we lose Daeve.
I was gonna say, it's nice working with you, boys. Oh, yeah, that's a 19. That's 21.
Get that.
Oh, 21. I'll take it.
Oh, well, you know what? I've still got a villain point.
You do?
So I'm going to tell you, yes, I do.
We knew this was coming.
I'm going to make you re-roll that piloting check because I want to see what happens when you can't fly this thing over the crowd.
Wrong and roll it 20.
Okay, John, let's get a 22 exactly. Yeah.
This is how we lose Daeve.
Yes! It's a 20!
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
I'll do a barrel roll now.
Oh, yes, so you elegantly, against all of my poor intentions, fly this helicopter toward the crowd, and you just buzz the top of the cage there as you're just rolling down.
As he buzzes the crowd, I'm gonna lean down with one arm and just high five a bunch of people as we go over.
Yeah, high five a bunch of people. You got the music blaring.
I want you to imagine that angle if we're like at any angle left or right, that we're just chopping off some background heads. It's just the rotors are taking people out. But as we're going down, I basically kind of like, gonna grab the camera or whatever, and I'm getting ready to jump down. Because as soon as he kind of like takes a pass over the ring, I basically want to kind of make an announcement before I decide to jump out of the helicopter using the jump jets to kind of propel myself down a little bit. The basic it's like, remember our names. We're the X.T.R.E.M, and we're here to win this match. This person decided to become a coward and hide this person away from us, taking us for true victory. We're the X.T.R.E.M, and we're here to bring the pain and the doom. And I am Bear Drills coming in for the landing. And I basically jump out and basically just try to use all the jump jets my best to not try to freaking kill myself as I'm trying to land in. And I'm hoping I'm hearing fans or any of the little fan club that are gonna follow me just going drills, drills, drills. As I hopefully just land in either like the middle of this match or something else like that.
All right. Yeah. So you guys are you aiming for jumping on top of the cage? Are you aiming for
We're gonna do on top of the
You're
cage.
going for the cage. I thought you were trying to go straight from jumping out of a helicopter to crowd surfing as a like 3/4 of a ton bear.
As nice as that would be, I would probably be even more of a murderer than I am. So on top of the cage if possible.
All right. So what about the rest of you? Are you all trying to also get on top of the cage or elsewhere? And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and move your ribbon
let's get a
so that you
map
can
here.
see where you're going.
I think I'm still on Hieronomo's shoulders, so where he goes, I go.
Yep. That seems accurate. So Bear Drills, you're here on top of the cage. Where else do you all want to try to fall?
Let's, what are we looking at here? Let's see this map. Okay. That's the big cage there in the middle. And then underneath that is, how high up above the ground is the cage?
The cage is about 20 feet. And Tehwas buzzed about, what would you say, probably about 40 feet, sounded like.
Okay, then I think that because the jump jets only have like a 20-foot height range. So I'm going to land on top of the cage as well.
Okay. And so you have got the litigator in your arms and two of your forearms.
Yep.
Tehwas, I shouldn't have you on top of the cage because you are in that helicopter. And before we get to what happens when our wrestlers lands like graceful cats on top of the cage, Tehwas, why don't you tell me what you're doing with this helicopter that you somehow managed to fly?
I'm going to circle once or twice while they are landing, and my plan is to... I'm keeping an eye out for anybody that I can use these rotors against. You know, if I'm going to land at a 45-degree angle, I might as well fly at a 45-degree angle and mow down something.
Wow.
You could just jump out of the helicopter onto the cage with us. Just let nature take its course.
Okay.
What about that says nature?
Hey, gravity is natural. What are you talking about?
So, Tehwas, interesting that you mentioned that as a plan. Why don't you make me a perception check?
Oh boy. Let's see. Oh, 17. I'm on the prowl.
Ooh, so you're on the prowl, and you notice just in the periphery of your vision as you are starting to circle around to make another loop around the top of this roof, you see that there are several members of Skulk Nation that have scrambled up onto that side roof that is just kind of adjacent. It's off this way here, just adjacent to that cage. And you see that they've all kind of clambered up there, and it looks like that they might be trying to lay some sort of trap. They are fiddling with something large in their hands. It looks like maybe some kind of pipe or something. But they are definitely there, and the other wrestlers don't see them.
Perfect. I'll let my group know that they should, when they swing down on ropes, if they do, leave the ropes hanging. They might need them later.
Are you implying that the helicopter will still be airborne then?
Not only am I doing that because I am emboldened by my die rolls, but I'm thinking I could turn one of you into a wrecking ball from a helicopter, and it'll be great.
I can't see that going wrong.
I'm sure that's great. I'm sure that's fantastic.
That's because we've never known success.
All right, so Tehwas, you are continuing to circle like a vulture in that helicopter, sounds like.
Darn right.
Okay, so we've got bear drills, and we have the Litigator in the arms of Hieronomo Jones. So Litigator, I'm going to put you down here. So when you all land down onto this cage, you've got everybody had jump jets, right? Who jumped down there?
Yeah.
Everybody either had jump jets or was being carried by somebody with
somebody who had jump jets. All right, so when you all do that, why don't you all make me a reflex save to make sure that you're able to grab onto the precarious top of that cage, because it is a bunch of dented, rusty old metal.
And now we're back to...
I gave you every high piloting check in the world to try and save Daeve, and this is what he does.
Who rolled a natural 1?
They've got a nat
me.
1.
Yeah.
I got a 6. Hieronomo got a 16. 16 was his first one.
Okay, so Hieronomo, you are able to land on the top of the cage there.
Litigator just got a reroll, by the way.
Oh,
I'm thirsty.
Nice.
Now
So if he
seems like
wants
a
to
good
re-roll
time
it.
for that. Yep, let's do it.
Do it, Litigator.
I'm gonna use my point there. That's a natural 20. There you go.
Yeah!
And I'm gonna use my hero point to make sure I'm on top of there, and that's even worse than before. So I just suck in general.
So bear drills, you again just make the most awkward bear face as you just face plant into this metal cage.
Daeve
Like
will
slow
use
motion.
his Witch Warper abilities to quickly switch places with a version of himself in an alternate universe where he doesn't suck, and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
And you're again making that, you're making a very elegant bearskin rug pose, aren't you? It sounds like.
Yep.
Naturally, yeah.
Be careful, Litigator, because in all the multiverses, there is only one such Litigator, so don't die.
Well, yeah, real bad news for the guy that I switched places, because not
so
my
bear
problem.
drills, bear drills, you kind of fall about 10 feet down into the cage. So you manage to catch yourself when you fall a bit. So you are hanging on to kind of the side of that cage there. But Litigator and Hieronomo, you guys made it to the top of that cage. And you all do see, because it is a cage and there are slats and it's pretty easy to see on the other side, you do see that Brandy Brutal indeed is that person who is tied up and is hanging from the cage there on the rope.
Sure.
And you also see the ominous outline of a Vesk with a ripped up t-shirt bearing a skull on the front of it. That same skull that all of the fans were wearing before as they were jeering at you. This is indeed the Skulk. And you see the Skulk watching you as you all fall down onto the cage with various levels of success. And he's just laughing. More fodder for my comeback. I should never have tried to stop you. I should have just let you up here to show the entire Pact World that I am the cream of the crop. And he starts running down here. And so at this point, I'm going to need initiatives from folks. And Tehwas, we will resolve your initiative as you are still in the helicopter.
Darn right.
This is super embarrassing, but right up until now, for some reason I thought the Skulk was that space panda that went to jail after all those DUIs.
Andrew, when you say things like that, you make the fans start asking us for space pandas, and we don't need that.
It's
really not?
let's be honest. It was only a matter of time.
So some people I
No,
accidentally
no,
deleted out of the order.
It is okay. I can re-roll. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, mine was originally a 10. I'll be fair.
Okay.
If you need to edit my number at all.
No, that's fine. We'll just keep these. All right. So
Okay. I got a 17. What do you guys get?
Slightly less than that, but not that much less than that, which
Yeah.
is pleasant change.
Yeah, what numbers did you guys get?
Already put
14.
mine in. 13.
7 for me.
okay, I've got everybody's initiatives in there, and all right. So that you see the Skulk at the very top of that cage as he is just laughing, and you see that he's got like a little GoPro that he's talking into, and he previously kind of had it on his shoulder, so he picks it up and he looks right in it, and you can only imagine that the streaming audience is seeing this because, as you remember, you have taken his stream and rewritten it to all of your viewers, so everybody is seeing all of these things that are happening in these cameras, and he looks at it and he says, finally, the day that I've been waiting for, the day that I show everyone that the Skulk is the greatest wrestler in the Pact Worlds. These 20 years have only made me better. These 20 years have only made me ferment and marinate like a fine wine. I will show them. I will show everyone. Watch as I destroy all of the world. And he was going to run over, and there's a device at the corner of this cage, and you notice that there are devices on all 4 corners of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna bend over, and he is pushing a button, and you just hear like a sound as one corner of the cage starts to lift up. And
Can I ask that Granny, whenever the Skulk uses his GoPro to turn the camera on himself, apply the filter that makes his voice sound higher and puts little kitten ears on him?
Nice.
Oh, you mean the helium voice, the one that sounds just like this?
I believe we
one.
call it the skitter filter.
That's right.
Well, he is the cream of the crop, if you know what I'm saying.
We're just trying to help.
He's gonna show everyone that he's the best.
The best of the Vesk.
The best of the Vesk. Oh, that's excellent. Cord, it's now your turn. You're hanging 10 feet down on that cage.
Cool.
What do you want to do? The Skulk
well-
is clearly up to something.
Yeah, I have a very good climb speed, so basically just gonna hop up, and I assume I can climb up and then use like the rest of my movement to basically keep going. So only thing I can really do is precariously walk across this way, and
Yep.
I guess I guess I can only go far up next to the other pylon-looking thing that he's apparently activating. I want to take a action because I can't really shoot at him or anything. I could, but I'm a wrestler. So.
Yeah, Bear, I would like to ask you, so before you do that, you see these pipes that are up here?
Oh, yeah, pipes.
Did you take those grenades from Granny P?
Yes.
Did you? Okay. Well, you know enough about various weapons and guns to know that you could shove those grenades in there and you could fiddle with them and jerry-rig it into like a grenade launcher, basically.
I mean, with the rolls I get, I guess as I'm walking by, I'll
Nice.
just grab a pipe that might be hanging or something like that that's easy to grab through and get to where I'm currently at. And I guess I can use an action, I suppose, like to put a grenade in there, like mortar fire at him, like for like, and to just shoot at him with it.
Just like put the grenade in one end and then just shove your arm in the other one and punch it out of there.
Yeah, it'll work.
So yeah, it's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to fire it until your next turn, but you can definitely set that up if you want.
All right, I set it up.
Okay, so you set it up. So Litigator, is now your turn. Are you still in
No, I use my cat-like reflex to leap gracefully from Hieronomo's shoulders
Okay.
as Bear Drill's face planted into the ground next to me. So
Cat-like.
let's see. So the Skulk is currently, he's outside the ring messing with that little pylon thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, he's actually on top of the cage, and there are 4 devices on all corners of the cage, and he's messing with one of them.
Okay, so we're on top of the cage. The ring is down inside the cage. He's messing with
Yes.
things on top of the cage.
Yes.
Brandy Brutal is suspended above us.
Yes.
Okay.
He's above us? I thought he was
He's
below us.
Sorry, he's below.
Oh, he's below. So he's in the cage.
Yes. Yep.
And the cage, I thought something was dangling. Is the cage dangling?
Brandy Brutal is hanging from rope that's tied to the top of the cage.
Okay. Let's see. I will. Well, I might as well at least try this. I'm going to pull out my gun and I'm going to try to shoot the rope that Brandy Brutal is suspended.
Ooh, excellent. Okay. Make an attack
So
roll.
that sounds like a ranged attack roll.
That's a nat 20,
Oh.
man.
That.
Oh!
Yeah. Why don't you roll damage?
See, that is a mere 1d4, but it's also a rope.
But twice.
Well, that's right. It's double damage because you
Yeah,
got.
it's double damage because that's a crit. So
Does he roll
again?
again? Yeah, it's a roll
Yeah.
again.
Oh.
Like 6 total.
6 total. All right, so you just fire off a shot with a beautiful accuracy, and Brandy Brutal is still hanging there, but the rope is frayed and it's just hanging by a little bit. Just a little bit of rope there. You get the sense that, like any other strong sort of action against it is going to make that rope break. Tehwas, you're in a helicopter circling around.
Doesn't it also apply the critical effect?
What's the critical effect?
1d4 burn.
Oh,
So-
yeah. All
So
right.
laser.
That won't be until the next round.
That won't
but-
be till the next round, but yes, remind me, don't let me forget, because that will be doing the burn damage. So Tehwas, you are in the helicopter circling around.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit, casually get a little bit closer to these Skulk fans over on the right-hand side. See if
Yep.
I can figure out quite what they're up to.
Sure, okay, so you get a little bit closer and you're hovering, correct?
Trying to, yeah.
Okay, so while you're hovering, you see that they are picking up pipes that are very similar to the one that, I don't know if you saw, but the one that Bear Drills actually picked up, and they're shoving grenades in them, and it looks like that they are readying them to fire toward the wrestlers that are on top of the cage match. So unless you want to just buzz them around and continue on your arc, you're gonna need to make a piloting check to hover there.
All right, so this enterocopter that I'm in, this thing has like rails to it, right?
It does, yes.
Like landing rails.
Yep.
Good. My plan is I want to see about using those to kind of like sweep from left to right and basically push these fans off the top of this building or whatever they're on.
Yeah. Okay.
Sort of like scraping a pan with a spatula.
So basically making them try to like dive out of the way or get them off of the roof in whatever way.
Yeah, I mean, imagine you have a table with some kittens on it, and you just sweep your hand or your arm across the thing and sort of see if they all land on their feet.
What kind of monster would do that, John?
You
I
knew
love
the
it.
moment
Roll
that I sent in
piloting.
my character.
That is true. You are the bad guy. So I guess if there's kitten scraping happening, then that's probably you.
Darn right.
The kitten
Tehwas.
scrape is actually one of Tehwas' signature moves.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that in the random wrestling move generator. Just need my cat to come back. Tehwas, why don't you roll a piloting check to see if you could do that?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, this is going to be great. Not terrible.
Still good. Still good.
All right. Yeah, 18. Okay. So,
If
I
you
get
don't
to
put a
avoid
point-
the irony of using a hero point to commit villainy.
If you don't put a
Oh.
point, if you don't put a skill point into your piloting when the adventure is over, I'm going to be sorely disappointed.
all right. So, there are several Skulk Nation members who scramble out of the way. Some of them run back down the door underneath. Some of them fall off of the roof. There are 2 of them that, unfortunately, have actually grabbed onto those handles and are now trying to heave their way up into the helicopter. And I
They
think
are
that
about
that's
to
their
learn
turn.
why it's a bad idea for me to crash this helicopter.
Well, you buzzed pretty close there, so they managed to hang on, and they're trying to climb up, and you just hear behind you, "Heal! Heal! We'll get you! We'll get you! We'll show you what it's like to stand against the Skulk! Nobody messes with Skulk Nation! You mess with Skulk Nation, we climb into your helicopter and we make you crash, sucker!"
Wow.
Anything else for
Good
your
on them.
turn, sucker?
I'm going to start lifting them higher into the air. We're going
Okay.
to see about giving this a good shake.
All right. So I believe that's going to be your whole turn to scrape them off. So next turn we'll see if you can scrape them off, if you can shake them off, or if they get any further.
Sounds good.
Hieronomo Jones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
start
dear.
off graviton attuned.
Okay.
I sense a lot of reflex saving throws in our future here.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know why you would say that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And then I'm gonna move as quickly as I can towards the Skulk. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One move action puts me here,
Okay.
and then I will jump jet the rest of the way.
Okay.
2, 3. Should put me about here, and that should be the extent of my turn.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep, done.
All right. So back up to the Skulk, who's going to look at you running in that direction and
Yeah.
is actually going to try to bull rush you down into the cage.
Okay.
Hieronomo. So he's gonna run
Yeah.
up there. And let's see. Let's have him roll that combat maneuver. That's probably not gonna hit your KAC +8, I would assume.
That's correct. I've got a 21 against combat maneuvers.
All right, so you managed to hang on to the side of the cage there, as the Skulk is just in your face and his breath is terrible. He's baring his big, sharp, pointy Veska teeth and saying, "Get down in the cage and fight the
This-
Skulk! Fight the Skulk like a real villain will, because I know you're a villain."
Does he have a weapon, or is he just using his bare hands?
Nope. He's just got his bare hands currently.
Right on.
You do see that looks like that there is a gun that is strapped to his back, but he's not currently
Really?
wielding it.
Huh, okay. Cool.
So, Cord, time to redeem yourself, Cord.
Yeah, you say that, but now my grenade launcher is no longer going to be effective because the explosive radius will also get my friend, and I can't hurt my friend. So kind of like
I mean, reflex save, buddy. Go for it.
I was like,
If
okay,
your plan is to
fire.
lob one of these right into the helicopter, then I will dive.
Peyton,
I
I will also
absolve
point
you.
out. I will
Uh-huh.
also point out, Peyton, that you see the two members of Skulk Nation hanging off of the helicopter that Tehwas is piloting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't metagame it and ask him if he's okay with this. I can't.
You're just gonna have to spray and pray, my friend.
Yeah, I'm
He's-
just looking
he's
at him
probably
like,
fine.
I look at him like, I believe in Tehwas. The Tehwas can handle that. And I look at Skulk and I'm just like, oh, well, it was nice doing you. Unfortunately, me doing a range attack is just a base thing. So
It's an area attack, so it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to
Oh,
hit
it's an
it.
area
a
attack?
defenseless
Okay.
Square. Yeah. I mean, you have to hit it, but you have to just not roll a 1, basically.
okay, so you can help me out because
Why did
yeah.
you have to say that? Why did you have to put it in those exact terms?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I still might pick an area, which I could possibly pick like a square area that'll only hit Skulk. And then I basically just do a ranged attack, which I think is just my D20 plus Dex modifier. Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm
Plus 1, because
Oh, plus
you get
one,
a plus
okay.
1 because you have base attack bonus of plus 1 for being a veteran.
Okay. All right, I'm just making sure. Because
Yeah, so you can basically aim at kind of the bottom of that cage underneath the bars and
Oh,
try
yeah.
to only get.
you want me to shoot underneath it and collapse it all down on him. Sure, fire!
Ideally,
That's a
I mean, it's
that's a
metal.
natural 20.
Look at that!
That's a natural 20. Sorry, the dice went off the screen. But yeah, that's a nat 20. You can see in the chat bottom right. It actually exists. 21 technically. It actually exists. I finally got one that matters.
I can only imagine that Bear Joes is just screaming, "Eat this, Skulk face!"
Eat this, scumbags! And it's just a propelled rocket just straight down his feet.
Well, I should actually have you roll that damage.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
since I just rolled
It's
one.
1d6, right?
Yeah.
I'm finding that
A
as a group,
5.
we are best at the things that our classes are not designed for.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so you just scream fire in the hole or something. And that grenade blows up right at the feet of the Skulk, and you can smell that leather that he's wearing in his tall boots. It's just starting to kind of like waft and burn, and he takes a little bit of damage, actually quite a bit of damage from that blow there. Bear drills.
Good. He'll remember this.
Right as he stands back and he's like, fighting dirty. Oh, I love it. I love it. It'll be even better when I defeat you, and we can see your sad faces, and we can broadcast it to the entire Pact Worlds, and everyone will know how pathetic you all are. Yes, yes. As he starts laughing.
But it's so cute when he does it in the kitty voice.
you have to do his voice all in the high pitched thing now, and I still myself have a move action left, right?
You do.
Cool. Can I possibly, it's kind of hard for me with grids and stuff, can I possibly get all the way up to here with my jump jets, like to jump over here?
No, I don't think so.
I'll be back here?
You can get...
It's kind of hard to tell a little bit, but...
You can basically only go 30 feet.
That's about 30 feet where you are.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's
all right,
fine.
that'll work.
All
All
right.
right, that's the end of my turn.
Litigator!
What happened with Brandy Brutal? Is he still hanging precariously from that rope?
Yeah, he
Actually,
is
wait, it's my turn, so the rope
It
takes
is
another
your
4
turn,
damage.
so the rope is going to take a d4 damage.
Let's see what happens.
Ooh, that is just enough for that rope to ignite and snap, and Brandy Brutal falls down into the ring.
I guess, in retrospect, are his hands tied?
Yeah, he's all tied up, so if
Okay,
you want,
so that
you
was
can
actually
drop down
much
there.
worse for him, but
Well,
yeah,
you
actually
can-
no.
you
Yeah,
can
I
drop
will.
down there and untie him.
Yeah, I will drop down there as. So that was my. I didn't have to do anything because I was just burning.
Right.
So I'm going to take a
Yes, you
move
still have
action
your
to
turn.
jump down there into the cage.
Okay.
Move over adjacent to him.
So you don't
And,
have jump jets.
I don't. How far down is it?
It's 20 feet, so you can just take the 2d6 falling damage.
Can I make an acrobatics check to try and lessen it?
Yeah, why don't you do
That
that?
would bring it down to 1d6, wouldn't it?
Or you can
Yeah.
just climb down and stuff.
I could,
Yeah, but
but
that would
that's
use
not what
the
wrestlers do.
All right, so...
Not definitely a failure.
Nope, you made it. So you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Ow! Oh, I didn't use that ankle that much anyway.
That's what
I'll
it's
just,
for.
just hobble over to Brandy Brutal, and I don't actually have any sort of a blade on me, so I'll just try and shoot the ropes off him with my gun.
Oh, good.
You can try to untie him if you want.
Again,
I mean, if
that's not spectacular enough. We're going for spectacle. Let's just do it.
Okay.
this way.
If you hold him
Alright.
up, I could drive the helicopter by and try and use the blades of the helicopter
Yeah.
to chop the ropes.
Well, if this doesn't work, that'll be Plan B.
Cool.
Okay, so why don't you shoot at the ropes? Just roll damage because he's right there and you're just pushing your gun right to the ropes. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. Yep. Man, I should use this gun more often instead of trying to do literally everything else that my class is designed to do.
All right. So you shoot. You unfortunately are going to shoot through the ropes, and you're going to damage Brandy Brutal there a little bit.
Yeah, he'll be
But-
fine.
I mean, it's kind of just a flesh wound, though. You haven't done a ton of damage.
Yeah. I mean, he also took falling damage off the roof, but
Yeah, and he.
he'll be okay.
Oh, you're right. He did take that falling damage.
Details.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So he's a little bit bruised, and he's kind of fallen down to one hoof there for him because he was a newer, and his horns are kind of angled down, but you can hear the determination in his throat as he just and he lifts his head up at you and he says, "I don't know who you are. I'm assuming that you're just some nobody wrestler. However."
Ouch.
Thank you for saving me. Are we gonna do this together? And he extends one shaggy arm to you, Litigator,
Yep.
asking for your handshake there.
I'll reach out and I'll do the handshake elbow bump thing.
Oh, is this what we're gonna do? And
And as I do it, I will also, as I have a cantrip that creates little sparklers and flares. I'm just gonna have those go off behind the two of us as we lock arms.
Oh, this is excellent. And you actually see that camera drone that Granny P is controlling. She's still in the helicopter and managing to do this. So you see that camera drone just kind of going behind you, and you hear kind of crackling voices from the speaker there on that drone, and just the screaming and the cheering of the crowd is overwhelming everything, as you can hear just a vague sound of Granny P's voice and saying, "Yeah, you got it! Just a little bit more! As long as Tehwas doesn't kill us all in this helicopter!" Are you doing anything else?
No bet.
Nope, that's enough for me.
Oh
right.
boy, oh boy. Brandy
Speaking
Brutal, you
of-
don't understand. By shaking the litigator's hand, that was legally binding.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell him.
Speaking of Tehwas piloting that helicopter and not killing anybody, it's your turn, Tehwas. You've got 2 Skulk Nation members that are trying to climb up and get you.
Wow, both of them are still hanging on after that amazing grenade shot.
They did. No, the grenade went.
No,
on,
the grenade
on,
was shot at the Skulk,
Skulk.
not at the helicopter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, in that case, I will try to show bear drills that I intended for bear drills to shoot these people who are hanging off the rails. My plan is to take this helicopter and try and sweep it down so that I can move these dangling nobodies over bear drills or past bear drills, so that bear drills can hopefully like get an attack of opportunity to smack them. Now that we know that forced movement provokes, haha, take that FAQs. And on top of that, if I fail, the worst that happens is I drive the entire helicopter into the cage and hopefully shake off these Skulk Nation people anyway. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Okay, that
Yep,
sounds
that's right.
fantastic.
Just to recap there, worst case scenario is you drive the helicopter into the cage.
Yeah, with Granny in it.
Hey, there's a cage protecting Brandy Brutal. He should be fine.
Yeah, the rest of us will die, but he'll be fine.
I mean,
So you
I can hide under Brandy Brutal. I'll be fine too.
you can just use Brandy Brutal as a meat shield.
Bring it.
So John, you are buzzing the top of this cage. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm a little bit higher than buzzing. The idea is to hopefully buzz these 2 dangling people within range of Bear Drill so he can swat them off.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Roll your piloting check.
With pleasure.
You can do it.
So
Having
15.
a montage.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
exactly. That's exactly what you needed.
The
It was
piloting
lingering
checks,
on that, rolling over towards the 1 too.
The piloting checks are going progressively lower every roll. 21, 19, 17, 15.
I'm waiting for the 1 to just
Well,
start
that's-
and crash.
That's to represent the fuel leak that we don't know the helicopter has.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm here for.
That's right. That's right. You only have so many rolls until disaster is going to happen. But this time, Tehwas, you managed to do that. So you managed to hover the helicopter right within range of Bear Drill's grenade launcher there. And let's see if we can
I mean,
find
I
out
assume
what
he's.
Skulk Nation's doing. Oh! All right, so those members of Skulk Nation, one of them is indeed still dangling, unable to get up. But one of them actually pulls himself up and starts to climb towards you in the cockpit and is getting a running charge towards you, Tehwas. Make a reflex save.
Oh no.
Here it comes.
Haha,
Oh,
17.
Nice.
Oh, you just dodge right out of the way to avoid this member of Skulk Nation jumping at you and pulling you away from the controls. And you actually see out of the corner of your eye that Granny P and Mama Martha have jumped on his back and are pulling him away from you, and they're all entangled in a scrap next to you. We will tell you what happens next time it's your turn, because it is Hieronomo Jones's go.
All right, I'm just gonna shift 5 feet over,
Okay.
and now I've got 2 points of attunement, graviton
Yeah.
attunement, and I'm gonna try and keep the Skulk's eyes on me
Okay.
as Bear Drills comes up from behind. So I'm gonna give him a staff swing.
Okay,
And
excellent.
let's see how we do here. Nope, that's all right. It's not about me. It's team effort.
What
Oh,
kind
no.
of wrestler uses a staff? That is pathetic. That is not the cream of the crop. Granny P has managed to get helium.
Well, see, the problem is that I keep laughing at the kitten ears he's got, and so I just can't concentrate.
Oh, that makes sense. That would be extremely confusing.
End of turn.
End of turn. Okay, so again, the Skulk, and I rolled incorrectly last time, which was to your benefit. The Skulk is going to try to bowl you off of the cage.
Okay.
And so he is just trying to bull rush you entirely back.
Okay.
So.
Oh,
Oh no! So how much does that exceed your KAC plus 8, Hieronomo?
How much does it exceed it?
Yeah.
I have a 21, so 8.
By 8. Okay, so you are going to be just shoved back here
Okay.
while he does that. And then, for his move, he's going to try to hop down into the ring as he sees that Brandy Brutal and the Litigator down there are locked in some sort of agreement. So, because he has jumped, going to see if how much. Okay, so
Look at
he's
that.
going to.
What is with these 20s, Amanda?
Man. That's fine. That's fine. Get him out of the way on jump checks.
just-
I'm okay
just
with
get
that.
him out. Just get him out of the
Do you
way.
all see that? 20, 20, and 6?
Yeah.
Amanda's cheating, guys.
That was the damage he took. We want her to roll high.
Yeah, so that's good.
Actually, doesn't that mean that he accidentally critted himself when he jumped?
Actually, I have a quick
No, that was a save.
have a quick question. So if I roll a natural 20, that'll be a crit, right?
Critical hit on an attack, yes.
Yeah. So I rolled a d20 last time. I don't think we did our extra damage thing. Do you want me to roll another d6 just in case?
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, it's fine.
It's fine to not take the damage, Amanda? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
Moving on.
D6, 3, add 3. Okay.
Is
I'm
that
messing
against
with,
the?
I'm messing with you. You're
okay.
fine.
Okay. All right. So it is now your turn, Peyton. And if chat wants to give me another villain point, I'm going to use it against you for trying to confuse me.
Nope.
Chat, he deserves it. He tried to confuse me.
It's time to
Before
attack
Virgil.
from the stars. It's time to attack from the great sky. Star Ursa smash! And I basically jump off from the thing using the boosters, come straight down
Perfect.
on him. Just so boom! And it's like 20 feet and I'm like 10. It's fine. It's just so boom, like superhero landing, like right in front of him, trying to make like a shockwave as I come up with an uppercut with an entropic strike. It's since I do get like a point of entropic points for just first being in combat, I'll just kind of get that logged. Can I use that with all of that going on to basically enhance my attack kind of deal?
If you
Or
want
do-
to spend your 1 point that you already had.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Boo! And then entropic strike. That is a
Entropic strike.
22.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's going to hit him.
And I will
4 points
roll.
damage?
Yeah, the 4 points of damage, I'll roll an additional 1d4, and that is going to be in total 5. But still, it's a hit.
I don't need no villain points. I just need you all to roll minimum damage.
Hey, on the plus side, I bet that Bear Drills from the damage taken in the fall is going to gain some more entropy points.
Is that correct?
That's true, Bear
Yeah.
Drills.
Oh, okay. That'll work. I mean, I'm fairly tall. I don't know how much 20 feet would make a difference on my own height and falling.
Imagine a bear dropping off a 2-story building. I mean,
You take the
something's
That's
same
gonna happen.
exactly what it is.
Galileo teaches us you take the same damage, man.
Mia.
Yes, the famous experiment when Galileo dropped a bear off the roof of a 2-story building.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right.
hey, like 2 rounds ago, our version of science was to try and sweep kittens off a roof. So, like,
Hey,
Litigator.
it's science, Fant.
Your turn, Litigator.
Litigator is facing down the Skulk,
Yep.
and he will say, in kind of an awkward situation here, because all the pithy one-liners I thought up on the ride on the way over here were for when I thought you were that panda guy. So instead, take this, and he will transform the floor underneath the Skulk to the same floor, but in the gravy dimension, where everything is made of gravy.
Where everything is. Oh! The Skulk doesn't even like a gravy. How did you know?
I'm hungry now.
So that first line was a demoralize check, which is intimidate.
Okay.
And
That's not going to do it?
No, it's not.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'm still greasing up the floor on her.
You need a
so
reflex
have to make
save.
a reflex.
You need a reflex save.
He needs to make a reflex save.
Yeah, well, you need me to make you a reflex save.
Oh,
yeah.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, alright. So I think that's probably not going to make it. That's only.
It is not going to make it.
Okay.
So he is in a 10 by 10 foot square of gravy.
Oh!
They focused on him, so the top right one, he would be in the top right square of the 10 by 10 foot. And having failed that reflex save, he falls prone.
Nice.
And starts licking up the gravy because he is now distracted at how delicious his surroundings are.
It's good gravy. That's why I remembered where this dimension is.
Is that where Granny P got her famous gravy recipe? From the
recipe.
dimension of gravy?
Don't tell anybody that, but
She'd be real mad if she knew that you were telling people her gravy recipe. Just to take down some insane legendary wrestler? Daeve. I thought I taught you better than that, boy!
I was actually named after. Why?
Alright, so Tehwas, you have got a little bit of a struggle happening on you, near you actually, in the helicopter. It's not immediately involving you. What do you want to do? You want to keep flying this? Do you want to try to break up the fight?
Yeah, so
What's
at
your
this point I
plan?
have one person in the back wrestling with our two producers, and then
Yes.
I have one still hanging off the bottom.
Yes, you have one still hanging off the bottom.
And at this point, everyone else is in the cage.
No, actually, Hieronomo Jones is on top still.
Yeah.
All right. Hieronomo, do you want to lift down there, or are you happy
Oh, I
managing
got jump
the
jets,
cage on
man.
your own?
No, you do your thing. I got jump jets.
Okay, cool. Geez. I mean, this cage makes it so hard for me to crash a helicopter into the Skulk.
You could crash the helicopter next to the cage and jump out
I could.
into the cage.
Or
You could
land
also
a
crash it
helicopter
directly above him, and let the flaming wreckage do the rest.
You could.
How big are the gaps in this cage?
They are about 10 feet. I mean, they're enough for bear drills to drop down.
Oh, okay. So this cage is very just like symbolic. Like it's not actually trapping anybody inside.
Exactly. Yeah. If people wanted to run out and continue the fight on top of the roof, that wouldn't take anything at all.
Perfect. New plan. All right. So I'm going to circle this helicopter around. I'm going to take it down to the southeast corner of this cage,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to drive the helicopter into the side of the cage with the goal of, and of course, complex plans are always the best plans, with the plan of diving out of the helicopter
Okay.
and having the explosion like burst through the cage enough that it will burn up Captain Gravy Pants here.
Yeah. Oh, well,
not
we all
all of
know
my
that
fun.
gravy is flammable, right?
This gravy is highly, yeah.
It's
And then
more grease
I
than
will.
gravy.
And then, of course, I'll be giving a warning to the two parental units who seem to be really, really insistent that they know how to pilot helicopters. So I trust that they can take care of themselves, but Skulk Nation can't.
Okay. So that
Granny,
sounds like
take
a
the throttle. I'm bailing out.
Granny's gonna take the throttle, and then also they're going to attempt to leap out of the helicopter. Now they have since removed those harnesses that attach them to the. They've removed the ropes that were attached to the harnesses in the helicopter, so you don't have to worry about them being stuck if they're gonna go ahead and try to jump out.
Good.
So why don't you roll a piloting check to see if that plan survives contact with this die roller that hates you?
We'll see.
You have a hero point.
Yep, I have my hero. And I'm using it right now because.
Are you sure that you think you should use that?
You ain't got no
Yes,
Vela
yes.
points to stop us.
Don't listen to the
All right,
dog.
she was
Yeah,
right.
it's like Peyton all over again.
I mean, we were kind of owed that after what happened the last time I used one.
I know. I wasted my villain point. That makes me so sad.
Oh, karma.
Oh, dear. Oh, so you are trying to pilot this helicopter to make a dramatic explosion right on the corner of the cage, correct?
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
I think you're still getting part of your wish.
Yeah, so instead of crashing it conveniently there on the corner, what is going to happen is that helicopter is actually going to run right into the side of this cage here. If I can get my pointer to work. There we go. Right there, the helicopter is going to crash a little bit, probably like 30 feet to the east of there, and it is just going to skid into the cage, and everybody who's in the cage is going to need to make a reflex save to try to dive out. That includes the Skulk, that includes
Oh dear.
Horde, that includes Brandy Brutal,
Reflex,
that
go!
includes the Litigator.
I should point out that the Skulk is prone. Let's not forget that.
The Skulk is indeed prone, yeah, so he is going to have a real problem.
I saw that 22, Andrew. I saw that 20 like tap up like a 20, and then the 0 digit went away. Same thing with you. Just
Sorry, I rolled a range attack, not a reflex save, which, you know, this helicopter kind of is.
Alright.
I didn't help
That's
anyway.
what I've earned. That's what I earned.
Did none of like I'm like the only one who went above a 10. Well,
So-
Amanda went over 1, but still.
Yeah, but I'm prone, so that's not really gonna help at all.
So we
alright,
had a nice run there, and the
Yeah.
moment that we started rolling poorly again was the flaming helicopter crash. Good timing. Good timing, guys.
This is what happens when we team up with NPCs.
So the
Hey, up till now, the NPCs.
I'll never help anybody again.
all right, so let's see. You guys are actually pretty hurt, aren't you?
If we weren't already, we're about to be.
Yeah. So all of you, did anybody roll above a 14? I don't think you did. Oh, Peyton, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peyton, you are only gonna take 3 points of fire damage.
Excellent.
As you dive your way out of the way, and you all are basically diving on the other side. So Peyton, you're there. You've all made it. It just depends on if you're taking damage or not. Tehwas, Hieronomo Jones, you're jumping off this side.
Did you?
I see,
You
yeah.
didn't. You didn't name me when you named everybody that could make a saving throw. Should I have?
Oh, you need to as well, yeah, because
Okay.
that crash is happening
Okay.
right beside you. So you have.
I'm +1 on this because of singularity, but
Which
that
is
will
a
not
3.
succeed. So I will take tons of damage anyway.
Oh, okay.
Cool,
so...
cool. So,
I got a 6. My total was 6.
well,
Good.
congratulations. You are one of the highest rollers.
We suck again.
Okay, so the rest of you are gonna take 9 points of fire damage as you are just.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. What is everybody's health at?
I feel
I have
like
6 hit points left.
It's not good. I'll tell you that.
if I had to give people like a number out of a number, I feel like a 7 out of 13 in life. With my hit points.
Well,
wow, 7 out of 13. High roller.
Yeah, just all this beefiness I got going on.
all right. So, good news and bad news. Bad news is you guys are all hurt pretty bad.
Nice.
But the good news is that the Skulk was just rolling out of that cage and is still prone on the ground, is between Hieronomo Jones and Tehwas, and that it is Hieronomo Jones's turn. And
All
the
right.
Skulk is not looking very good, Hieronomo.
All right. Well, this puts me to 3 points of graviton attunement, and then I'm just going to step up and flank him with Tehwas.
Perfect.
And let's try a staff attack. I'll just try to keep him busy. When else comes over.
I was kinda
I'll be
hoping.
+2 on this. So ship 23.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
And we're
All right.
back.
I don't know why it didn't roll my damage, but we'll.
That's okay. You can go ahead and roll that separate.
Yeah, it's going to be a D6 plus 4. So let's. Yeah, so 8 one of which is electrical, the rest of which is bludgeoning. And it's
Okay.
magic.
All right, so that is really gonna hit the Skulk hard as you just, you just slam all of your weight down into your staff strike there as the Skulk just lurches forward, taking all of that damage right to his face as he's like, oh, there. And so it is gonna be his turn.
Yeah.
He is simply going to shift over
Sure.
and turn around and try to just flail out at you.
Isn't he
Tehwas.
prone? Doesn't he have to get up?
Oh, he's got to get up. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to get up.
He's got to make a check to get up.
Well, he's not in the grease anymore.
Yes.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
not in
that's
the
a good
grease
point.
anymore.
That's
You
a-
rolled out of the grease. So he's prone. He's gonna go ahead and get up, and he's gonna use his other action to shift over here, and that's gonna be his whole turn. As he's just furious, and there's just blood dripping all down his face, and his plan is clearly starting to go off of the rails.
We got him on the ropes, everybody.
Cord.
At this point, I am, Bear Drills is not happy. Bear Drills is just blood rage angry. And then usually that there's no major announcements, there's no nothing, but just pure intent to slaughter. And so I just need to know, and just movement-wise, I'm going to try to guess here. Like a 5. I assume I can...
You can get all the way to here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Somewhere around there, just
you can
bam!
jump up there.
Yeah, just jump.
This is how I die.
Just basically launch up into the air. No announcement or nothing. Bam! Land. Just mad as all hell. And I just basically just look straight at the Skulk and just shake my head. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
And immediately
So
bring down a... Go ahead.
I don't have a cat that has run in front of me, but I'm gonna give you a random wrestling move anyway, because I feel like that this is really cinematic, and you see the camera drone is starting to buzz towards you as this is your moment, Bear Drills. This is your moment to
No, don't do that.
perform.
Don't make the dice roll a 1.
Hurricane arm drive, Bear Drills. Show him your finishing move.
Start winding up the right arm. Start to see energy start to crackle as I basically put in an entropy point with it.
No, don't do it. That's what I did.
It's like I don't care. We're bringing it down. So I just what is the hurricane drill? Was it?
Hurricane arm drive.
Hurricane arm drive. I just kind of just look at him, just go hurricane arm drive, and just bam, just slam right at him. And why you do that to me, Dice?
I saw it bounce.
But I'm flanking.
We knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming too. I'm like all this hype, all this everything. I have no hero points. I have no salvation. Just basically, but I try to make it as look cool as possible. I'm like, I'm like just slamming down, and I'm suspecting he's like trying to get out of the way. You know,
If it makes you feel any better, Granny will cut away right before you fail.
That's right. She'll cut out all the awkwardness.
So as the fist kind of gets kind of close to him, it cuts out and goes pow, and then it'll cut to somebody else.
The Skulk looks up at you with those teeth bared and says, "The only hurricane that is happening here is gonna be my fist in your bare face!"
No.
Litigator, it's now your turn, and you're seeing Granny P and Mama Martha emerging from that giant flaming crash of the helicopter that's off of the screen. Here, and you
Oh
see
yeah, I am happy to see that. Right.
you see that they're up to something, but you're not sure what.
Can I pass freely through the cage, or is it still a hellish hellscape of flaming wreckage?
You can run through it and maybe avoid burning damage, but you also might take some fire damage. So it's gonna be up to you if you want to take that risk.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea. But let's see. With a single move, I can get here, and that actually puts me just within range of being able to target the Skulk with something, assuming I have line of sight to it, which I believe I do, don't I?
Yeah, you
There's
do.
these-
You're just on that soft corner.
All right. Well, then I will quickly open an interdimensional pocket right around the Skulk's head, and then quickly cycle him through 2 dimensions. One in which the spot where his head is a bowling alley, and one in which it's a spot where someone is just randomly kicking the air because they were angry about missing the bus.
Perfect.
So, yeah, that's mechanically that's an ectoplasmic barrage, which is 2 ranged attack.
All right, go for it. Let's see. What did you roll?
He got a range attack of 15.
Yeah, for some reason, did it actually? Oh, it did do a range attack of 15, and there's
Range
2.
attack of 15. Unfortunately, that range attack is not gonna hit him.
All right, and the other one is far worse. So.
It is a 6, and that's also not gonna hit him.
Oh well, yeah.
We're gonna
I
die
didn't say
here,
it was
boys.
a good bowling.
All right, so after Litigator, you try to do that. That would have been really cool. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite the right angle. Just was able to get out of the way. So you're gonna notice that Brandy Brutal is going to be running around you and is going to end up like right there, kind of in the driver's seat, and is making eye contact with Granny P and Mama Martha. Which again, not sure what's going on there, but now it's your turn, Tehwas.
Oh my gosh, does your granny have a background in wrestling? Is she also a retired wrestler?
She's got a background in a lot of different things.
All right. Well, is Skulk still prone, or did he stand up?
He stood up. He stood up and he shifted over here, so he's now standing up.
Perfect. I'm going to step back and I'm going to retrieve my rifle from the wreckage so that I can try to. Actually, you know what? No, I'm there. I'll just do stuff right now. I will stab. I will give a little bit dose of medicine to our friend the Skulk and try and inject him with my hypolance.
Okay, go for it.
And you know what? That was a real nice attempt, and I will
Okay, guys.
flail at him.
Guys, I'm going to email Roll20, and I'm going to ask them to give us a constant permanent bonus. It has been
you're
nothing. It has been nothing. There's been nothing but low rolls the entire time. I think.
Hey, I disagree. I disagree. We had a nice little spat of high rolls there, just enough to get us into a position where we could fail dramatically in the most significant way.
I know what happened. I talked to Roll20 in email not too long ago. I must have said something really offensive. The community manager was like, you know what? He said that one thing in an email. I'm going to ruin all of his rolls. That's exactly what happened. I'm blaming it on them. It's all their fault.
Checks out.
Tehwas, are
I
you
believe
going to
it.
try to do anything else?
Oh, it was an action to pull out the syringe, and it was an action to try and stab. So, no, I'm flailing next to a professional wrestler, and I'm way out of my league.
All right, so you're flailing around, unfortunately, as the Skulk is just laughing, and that helium filter is still over him. Hieronomo Jones, it's your turn, and when you look up to figure out what exactly is going on, you see that Granny P and Mama Martha are throwing you, Brandy Brutal, and Cord. They're throwing you ropes that have grappling hooks attached to them, and they're saying, tie him to the car, hit the accelerator and get him into the flames. You can do it. Come on. And they're going to throw you these ropes. So if you can catch them and tie that on, we're going to let Bear assist you, and Brandy Brutal's going to assist you. If you guys can do that, then Cord, when it gets up to your turn, you could punch the accelerator and just let Brandy Brutal drive off into the sunset, and the sunset in this case is a giant flaming helicopter crash.
Sure, I'll let it happen.
All right. So I need to take this rope and tie it onto Brandy.
Onto the
onto
Skulk.
this
Yes, you
Skulk.
basically just need to grab him so that you can tie the rope onto him.
That sounds villainous.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I'll
Do
do
it.
it. So he's gonna try to sort of jump over the Skulk and then use his staff as a chokehold.
Perfect. And
Right.
Cord, you can assist with this if you wish.
I shall assist.
Brandy Brutal is going to try to assist as well.
So am I making just an attack roll, this?
Yep,
or
just
or
make him
a melee
tackle.
attack?
A melee attack, yep.
And I can just use athletics to kind of help tie the stuff tighter, right?
Sure.
Nice. It's still a 4.
Well,
Where do you get the
Whoa,
20s?
Lord. So you're all fumbling, trying to get this attached, and all of a sudden just Brandy Brittle reaches over and says, "Let me take care of this," as he just kind of like ties the most perfect and beautiful sailor's knot all around the Skulk.
There you
I
go.
learned a few things while I was hanging from that rope above the cage.
Oh, but the Skulk is gonna try to break the grapple and try to get out of it before this horrible plan can happen. What is that?
Good.
No, he's not gonna be able to.
Now
Cord, now
it's
it's your turn. You guys have the Skulk tied up and attached to this car.
One more time. I apologize.
So the Skulk is now tied up and wrapped up with all of these ropes. They're attached to the car. Granny P is shouting at you to pump the accelerator so that you can drive it off into...
Want me to
Yeah,
drive
the
it out?
crash
Okay.
Wait. Where is the car?
Amanda. Trouble, Amanda. You're being prompted to use a villain point.
Oh, am I being prompted to use a villain point?
Yeah, chat's against the sorry. Too late. It's my turn. All right.
Where is the car, though? I can't see where the car is on the map.
It's right
The
under
car
it,
is
both
right
of us.
There,
Okay.
yep.
Oh,
It's
there
like
it is.
just
Okay.
there. I
Yeah.
guess I get to
Oh.
the driver's seat and just kind of just start revving. Just and I'm just kind of looking to the back. Do I see fear in his eyes at all?
You see so much fear in his eyes, and in fact, I am going to have him punch out at you with my villain point. Does a 17 hit your KAC, Bear Drills?
Yeah.
All right. How many hit points do you have left, Bear Drills?
I got
Just
like
out of
7.
curiosity. You got like 7.
I got like 7.
Okay.
Like
Let's see how
7.
quickly we can get that to 0.
Well, unfortunately, you have 4 hit points now because you just got punched in the face.
Oh, like after getting punched in the face, I kind of like, not even with any malice, I turn right back to him with a huge grin in my face and I floor the car.
Oh, and you floor the car. All right, so that car is going to just take off, and the Skulk is dragged behind him, and he just flies into that crashed helicopter, and it just explodes in a fiery conflagration. That's the good news. The bad news is now everything on the roof is starting to catch fire, and you all need to hightail it the heck out of there if you're going to survive. All of the wrestling fans are screaming. There's panic.
Quick, everybody, get to the helicopter! Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, about that.
Okay, so I assume because I'm like driving the car and everything, like, I'll do a turn. I assume there's like a carriage or something in the back that everyone could possibly fit in on as I'm like giant bear, little tiny car, a little steering wheel doing.
Peyton, I have an extremely important question.
Am I still
What
wearing
kind of novelty horn does the car have when you blow it?
And then I just arrive like, get in the car, or the back wagon thing, whatever it is, get in.
Get in, losers.
Get in, losers, we're going to
unfortunately-
wrestling.
Unfortunately, Peyton, you don't see anything like that on the roof,
Darn
but
it.
what you do see is you are all running through these explosions that are happening simultaneously down the line. You see that there is a hovercraft that is just becoming level with the roof, and they are being driven by 2 turtle-like humanoids who you
The
recognize.
turtles.
The turtles are back. And they are just hovering their craft and screaming at you, get in the car, it's gonna blow!
Okay, I get out of the car, but I drive the car so it aims, so it goes off a ramp and then wherever, I don't care. And I just take a very heavy piece of like cinder block or something and look at the Skulk, and I'm like, good fight. And I just put it on the accelerator, just run, and I just run straight to the hovercraft.
Wow. Bear
What
has
about
a
the rest
mean
of you?
Tehwas applauds.
Tehwas is proud of you.
You did it.
I can imagine just Tehwas sounds kind of like Darth Vader now, and it's just kind of like.
He is wearing a mask. He is kind of a jerk.
Welcome to the.
I mean, I didn't even have to give you like the give into your anger speech or anything like that. You did it all on your own.
I'm already angry that he took my original victory from me. This was all revenge.
All the wrestling fans have scattered. Sounds like all of you are headed toward the hovercraft that the turtles are driving.
Yeah, whoever's last, I'll pick up and jump jet to the hovercraft.
All right, so you all just barely. Why don't you all make me some athletics checks to see if you can
Oh no.
run away from
I'm
the rest of the
supposedly good
fire.
at those, but I rolled a
No.
2, so. Wait, no.
Hey,
I
no,
got
that
a
was me who
21.
rolled a
Yeah,
2.
yeah, that was Hieronomo. Yeah, I got a 21.
That was my 2. Yeah.
All
Hey,
right,
yay! Dave and I can die in the explosion together.
Dave and Tehwas make reflex saves.
Uh,
You have like 4 hit points left. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
Both of you.
All right, I have a solution. As they start to fall,
Oh.
are they falling?
Yeah, so basically
I'm gonna
everybody is
black
now
hole.
leaping. You guys made it
I'm
to the
gonna
edge,
black-
but you're leaping.
I'm gonna.
yeah, we're
black
leaping
hole
in slow motion and
Wait, hold up.
hanging
Yeah.
there.
As they start to fall, I'm gonna use my black hole power and pull them
Oh.
into the hover.
Oh, that is the perfect thing, Hieronomo, because you pulled them into the hovercraft just as they both take enough damage to become unconscious, and you manage to save them as they are arcing off of the roof and pulling them into the car just to safety. They're both currently unconscious.
This would have gone very differently if you had chosen Supernova.
It would have. Yeah.
Tehwas and Litigator, I'm assuming you guys are going to want to spend resolve points to stabilize yourselves.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
Actually, this is one of those rare opportunities that I do have time to bleed, but I think, yes, I will spend the resolve.
All right, so all of you make it onto the hovercraft. You got Crack Lip Smitty and Snapjaw Three Toes, the loyal Tellias who were once members of Skulk Nation, now reformed to become extreme fans, are driving you away from the entire building that is just starting to now explode in its entirety. We've got Litigator and Tehwas who are unconscious, maybe getting back up into the fight at this point.
We're just kind of rolling around in the back seat, unconscious, I think.
Granny P and Mama Martha have managed to also make the jump onto the hovercraft there. And you just wake up, Litigator, with Granny staring at you in the face, giving the most stern expression, slapping you a little bit here and there. Hey boy, wake up! Look at all of these sales that we made! Look at all these sales we made after you bled and you were unconscious. This is great! Can you do this again more often? We're gonna make a ton of money. We're gonna make a fortune.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh.
See, we should have let you get more hurt more often. I told you that this was the best plan.
Yeah, I don't know why I went into law. Oh, no.
Should have just went into bleeding. It's making Granny all kinds of money.
Oh gosh.
I'll find
Tehwas, are you waking up, Tehwas?
I don't know if I need to wake up to this abuse. Jeez.
Granny's got some smelling salts or something, by which I mean she's probably just cracking open a shotgun shell and waving it under your nose.
Oh good. Yeah, I'll wake up.
All right, so you wake up and you guys are all on the hovercraft with the turtles. They're taking you back toward the arena. Nothing really needs to be explained to them. They saw the whole thing from the outside. They understood what happened. What do you guys want to do? Is there anything you want to do before you get back to the arena?
I want to check our numbers.
Yeah, your streamer numbers. You are easily able to see that before, where you had maybe thousands of people tuning in before the match actually started, you've got hundreds of thousands of people watching now, and just the chat is going crazy. Everybody is screaming. They think that this is fantastic. We've got all sorts of new chants and just like fan slogans and sayings for each of the individual wrestlers. You guys can all participate in chat right now if you want, in the game or in our actual chat. Anything you want to tell your adoring fans?
Mr. Brutal, you've been kidnapped by the Skulk, tied, suspended over a cage, rescued, burned the refinery down, and enjoyed this delicious, frosty, cold brawlahol that I'm handing you right now. What are you gonna do next?
Drink more brawlahol.
Well, that's an easy question. I'm gonna go to Extreme Land, and he grabs out an Extreme T-shirt that Granny is handing to him, and he puts it on, and it gets kind of stuck on his horns as he pulls it over his head, and he kind of makes noise, and he finally gets it on, and he sticks his chest out, and he points to himself and says, "I'm Brandy Brutal. I'm an extreme wrestler, and I approve this message."
Yeah.
If we have to, just remember to splice that in after the full confession.
So everybody is cheering in the chat. You can hear a little bit of the tinny speakers coming from the camera drone that Mama Martha and Granny have managed to sneak out with them and got on the hovercraft. Everybody is screaming, and you've got the kiddo who's pinging all of your data pads, asking for you to meet him back down in the arena to go over your wild success. And if you like, here we've got a few moments. There is something that was very interesting that the kiddo and the other producers for your stream were able to find out once they took over the stream from the Skulk.
What's that?
King.
We are interested to find out.
Yeah, so the kiddo is gonna come find you after you have landed in the arena, and you're back there in the green room where all of this started. He's gonna come up to you, and he's gonna say, "My babies, my stars, those numbers, I didn't even think they were possible. I didn't think that anybody would tune into this match. I worried that we would never be able to impress all of our backers, but you have exceeded everyone's expectations. You've saved my star, you've saved my match, and you've done it all as entertainment for the masses. How do you feel about yourselves now?"
I still feel as if my... Yeah, we all start at the same time. Go ahead. Look at your hospital bed and everything, and like Drills feels like he finally won the match. Drills is happy with this outcome.
You saved everything, and now you are all interplanetary stars. And I must tell you all that I have gotten a call from the Starfinder Society, some group who has found out that there is a whole list of wrestlers that Skulk Nation has targeted to try to overthrow and overcome, all as part of the Skulk rising back to power and all of these older wrestlers coming back. And the Starfinder Society, they want you to protect these wrestlers. Skulk Nation is out there everywhere. They can see everything. They are threatening all of these wrestlers. Some of these names that have been passed to me: Holly Hogan, the Undersneaker, Jill Oldberg, Mick Stair, Bliss Terrico, The Block. These are the biggest stars in all of the Pact Worlds, and Skulk Nation has put targets on their back. They want to hire you to protect them, and I think that this will make a great show. I think that Mercenary Extreme has got a beautiful ring to it. What do you all say?
I say I'm in so long as you can get me a vehicle.
I say I'm in as long as you can get me to a hospital.
Right. Just look at my mercenary contract, like they try to get out and they take me right back in. Fine, I'm in.
Holly Hogan was
Bear,
my
you were
hero
always
as a kid.
That's right. You're always destined to be a hero, wrestler, mercenary. Isn't that what you wanted to be when you were a tiny bear when you grew up?
I suppose.
All right, so you have all defeated the Skulk. You managed to escape the exploding refinery building. You didn't necessarily do it without almost dying, but you sure did put on a good show. And that, everybody, is the end of this arc of the Extreme game. We hope you all had a fantastic time.
Thank you so much for GMing, Amanda. It was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much
for organizing the whole thing.
Great.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you all of you who came here as players. You guys did a fantastic job and everything. And also, thank you everybody in chat, by the way. We all greatly appreciate you guys, being here, sticking with us, helping out with the, just basically being here for the streams and everything else. It's really heartwarming to basically see everyone come in, supporting Starfinder in general, liking the things that we're putting out and everything else. We hope you guys have been enjoying the streams and stuff. And just as a kind of a heads up for basically next week, we're going to take a quick break basically for next week. We got to set up some stuff and everything else. So we will not be live next week on Wednesday, but because we're going to set up some things, kind of reorganize some stuff, because definitely there's technical problems and stuff with, with like using Discord and Skype and all this other stuff. And we're trying to think of new ways to where we can kind of either improve stuff or shift stuff around. So, and Amanda, still thank you again for putting all of the entire adventure together, running it, and everything else.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you all for being the best wrestlers this side of the Pact Worlds, or at least you sure were able to fake it. So thank you guys for being awesome players. Your characters are wonderful. I hope to see some of them come back in some capacity at some point soon.
Yeehaw.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
So
Oh, I still do have a villain point left. Is there anybody who wants to die?
I believe this is the point. I believe this is the point. I think I know how the villain point gets used. We basically drove off on the hovercraft. We had just pulled the Skulk over the side of a burning refinery into wreckage. This is the point where the credits have finished rolling. We have the after credits little scene, and it's just the burning wreckage. Pause, and then the Skulk's hand just bursts from the wreckage. Cut to black.
Exactly.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
So we're gonna go with that. That'd be great.
Missed your calling, John. You missed your calling when you were a genre film.
And so with that,
Dun, dun, dun.
thank you again, everyone, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. We hope you support us so far into the future. And also, as a quick heads up for our streaming schedule, B Wolf unfortunately had some sickness with some of her cast members, so she will not be live right after this. So we apologize for that. As we prioritize more of people's health than just kind of getting a show up, and we hope people on her crew are safe and sound and they get healthy fairly soon. So thank you all very much for being here. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, cast and crew. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone. And we'll catch you all next time.
See you next time on Starfinder X.T.R.E.M.
See ya.